Hello, everyone. We are live with Chapter 11 of Story 2, possibly the conclusion of Story 2 for the Werewolf the Forsaken Chronicle Very Angry Dogs with storyteller Chris Allen. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Chris to give the normal lead in as to where we left off and setting the scene. Chris, why don't you take it away?
Hello.
Oh no!
Without fail, freezes every time I pass the baton. I think he does it on purpose.
Session than they did last session,
Oh,
which I would remind the pack. Did I temporarily blip out, or did
you walked out.
How much did we miss?
All of it.
All of it. We got hello, and that was
Okay.
Baton
Well,
pass, silence.
One thing to note is that our internet connection at this end isn't being fantastic that me and Ag are on, so please do let us know if we blip out at any point. And I apologise if either of us are in sort of freeze frame, stuttering, or the like. Okay, so yes, content warnings for the usual body horror, occult horror, and violence. Things are likely to get messy again this time, given how messy they got last time. That's quite a statement, given I would remind the pack that last time involved eating people. Where did we leave off? It's been a little while, so I do apologise if there's any things where I'm like, oh, what happened then? I haven't had a good night's sleep either, so I might be a little bit slow on a few things to pick up. It's been a few weeks. The pack are on the trail of Corley Hawkhurst, their foe, their nemesis for control of Gleesham. Last time the pack lured him out into a confrontation while attacking his cult, lured him into suboptimal use of his resources, although he did in fact give the pack who were present a bit of a kicking before he bolted off because he realised, due to his wards going off, what was going on with the one member of the pack who wasn't present, which was Johnny, who had got to his home to go for what the pack believe is his ban, the ashes of someone who they thought was his father, but is probably not his father, apparently, given his father is currently unconscious and slung over the shoulder of Johnny, as are the ashes of the person who is definitely not his father. They're all over Johnny and all over the rest of the place because Johnny panicked and has chucked them everywhere. With him is Emma Coleman, a aggressive wolf-blooded, who is there to try and rescue her sister, who they found in his house, and they are getting her out as well. Where we left off, three of the pack, Harmonious Flame, Stormbringer, and Thornbreaker, are racing across town in Urshel, because it's the fastest form they can put together in short notice, through the streets in broad daylight, just fucking lunacy training their way through the town, in a kind of throwing caution to the wind. This is the best problem to get as quickly as possible, because they know that Hawkhurst is shit hard, and Johnny is effectively by himself, as far as they're concerned.
I'm in danger.
Johnny and Emma are at the bottom of the stairs in Hawkhurst's quite nice house, and he has just finished carving the city's flesh to open the path for him to his door, and has sort of come in, in his suit, but scruffy, Dalu, kind of like looking afraid, frazzled, and has just seen what's going on in here. And now the totem was with somebody, and I can't remember who.
Johnny.
The Unconquered Raven is there as well. Okay.
I think I remember what Johnny's plan was. Do you remember?
Yes, my plan is to use the Unconquered Raven as a relay point for my auspice ability to get the fuck out of here.
So, where we're picking up then, it is a blustery day, but not wet outside at the moment. It is also a day of chaos.
It's a moment.
So it's always has to be an at the moment with Stormbringer around. It is a day of chaos on the streets. You have left behind you, I believe you set the old theatre on fire as well before you left. So you've left behind you the beginning telltale signs of the smoke and the fire there, because it's quite a big chunky building, and you were focused on like soaking the bodies first with the flame. So it'll take a little bit to really get going before people realise what's up. So you have left a pile of bodies behind. And now, as three massive wolves, you are loping through Gleesham, and the part you're in is quite it's quite sort of central as well. Okay, and going up to St John's. So this is not like low density population area. The street you leave the theatre by is, but then you're running through, and so you guys are belting as fast as you can. You know exactly where your packmate is, you know exactly where to go. So I'm presuming you are basically shortcutting as best you can. You know, you're hammering down the streets, but then if there's someone's garden, you know, you're going over the fences and the hedge through the gardens and anything, you know, that kind of thing. Even so, you're going to go through.
Did you say over fences?
Through.
Well,
Stormberg's going through.
Okay, then that's most of those kind of things will be manageable. You probably won't be able to go straight through like the wrought iron railings, but
you underestimate my stubbornness.
Certainly the wooden stuff is really easy to go through. But along the way, you are causing mass lunacy. Because plenty of people out in the streets. Now, this manifests in a mixture of different ways. Obviously, a lot of people see 3 enormous fucking wolves pounding down the street and go into, you know, basically get the fear response, which varies from, oh my god, it's 3 enormous things, run the fuck away, to, you know, drop shopping, stare. Because you're going so fast, a lot of the fear lunacy effects aren't actually really too bad because, you know, you're past them in a couple of rounds and round the corner, and they're left there going, having like panic attack or just trying to process what they've seen and not really quite catching up with, like, I can't literally have seen 3 small car-sized wolves running down the street because that doesn't make any fucking sense, right? A few people get hit with the atavism response, which is the, oh my god, it's a monster, kill it one. And much the same is mostly true, you know, because you're going so fast, they are responding almost too slow. So people who would go into a berserk panicked rage trying to like kill the fucking monster they don't have the ability to really kick that in properly. They're still reeling from just seeing you and being exposed to lunacy. Mostly, you know, Stormbringer gets hit by someone's little old lady's handbag at one point. Someone straight through. There's, you know, a guy just like throws something. A guy in his car atavisms, which is a bit more of a problem, but and basically goes and tries to steer into you as you cross the road, but you're too fast and his reactions are too slow because he was going straight. So he simply crashes into a building. And it's not the only motorist you've caused problems for. You cause at least 2 small pile-ups. Not high speed because they're in the middle of town. You cause a couple because people just stare and then someone hits the back of them or whatever, or they hit the back of somebody. The guy who atavismed and tried to ram you with his car probably isn't going to be walking out of that mess very healthily. There is a lot of blood splashed around inside his car. Then there are people who are who are obviously panic scared because they're seeing monsters, but they are not hitting the rabid terror elements of lunacy. These are the people who have been rendered open to the spirit world by your passing. And while there, the initial panic was obviously very real. People seeing 3 massive wolves staring down, they go, oh my god, panicking, screaming, all the trauma of that. These people might be a problem that comes back to you in the eyes later on, sometime later on, because they are the ones who are most likely to end up possessed or influenced by spirits. But that is a problem for future you, and future you is a dick and deserves everything they get.
Future me might be dead.
Yeah,
that's victim shaming.
Those assholes don't get themselves killed, right? What do they deserve? Yeah, now you has a job to do. You tear through town, and obviously in your wake, you know, the electronic, the wireless networks of town are flaring up with life as people are ringing, texting, you know, what the fuck did you see that? Bringing the police, going, etc., and trying to process what they've experienced. Then there are going to be a very small number of people who do punch through the worst of the lunacy, who will remember the most of what they just saw. Hopefully most of them are going to try and rationalize it away, but you never know. And who knows, maybe someone will have had the really unusual reaction to mass exposure to lunacy, which is to become wolf-blooded. But again, that's a future you problem.
We just spiked the werewolf population, boys.
Being exposed to lunacy?
Yeah.
Yes, mass lunacy can occasionally create wolf-blooded.
Oh crap.
Now that's mostly a problem if they have a shape-shifting related tell, and in your wake, they turn into a giant wolf and start killing people.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Alright, so a wolf-blooded becomes a werewolf.
No, some wolf-blooded tells make them change shape, right? Like Emma Coleman has the ability to turn
Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yes, okay, I didn't understand this.
I think there was a comedian who once said, when relating to people discovering the lyrics of a song and what they meant, at which point Stormbringer is going to go, "My God, what have we done?"
Quick question: does
So-
that tick the box of the aspiration of growing the banner, like receding,
Correct.
seeding future wolf-blooded that we could later acquire?
Only if you act. No, it would if you later acquired. It won't have that effect now, but in theory.
God.
So you cause mass terror, panic, and madness in your wake, including and some property damage. You are crossing town really fast. There will be some time with Johnny and him before you get there. I just want to know from the rest of the pack then, is there anything you're doing on the running? Is there any powers you're kicking? And anything I need to know about before we shift over to Johnny and his impending doom?
I'm going to ping off Killer Instinct and Primal Strength.
Okay.
On the
I will assume, rather than you ping them off now, I will assume that whenever you hit a scene where you use them, that you are
Yes.
ready. Because it might be that, stuff in the house might have changed by the time you get there, and I don't want you to feel like,
Right.
I just wasted less. But
Oh,
yes.
if you are about to implement into a combat scene, I will assume that you have had the time to buff yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same
Okay.
thing with my primal strength, and I'm gonna use Voice of Glory when that scene starts, because I would potentially use it for my hunter's aspect.
As you go,
I got nothing.
you see movement in Twilight. You are being flanked by two fear spirits you recognize. Heart in Throat is with this weird grisly assemblage with these long fleshy arms, is lolloping along like some crazed abomination among the panicked, terrorized people, just drinking just delighting and drinking down essence at the absolute chaos you have sown in your wake. So that's
He's gonna love us.
Yeah, he is.
Creeping Dread is keeping on the other side and is just keeping pace in general. Does not seem quite so delighted with the mass outbreak of panic terror, but is also present but keeping his distance. You can see the wingless Griffin of Shadow keeping pace with you.
He's more into sneaky terror rather than open terror.
Yeah, Heart in Throat is like having a fucking party. This is the equivalent of just like the cocaine is everywhere. She's sniffing it down,
He's gonna owe us some essence when this is over.
You might want to try and put that on him and say, "Aren't we rad?" Think about maybe what you got out of it.
You wanna help us out here, boy?
Right?
Chris,
So-
you can't talk to him while we're running, right?
You can, with the caveat that you will be trying to have a conversation inertial while running, rather than just focusing on fucking booking it. And
Okay.
they're not really coming too close to you. They're in your wake and kind of reacting to what's happening. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Well, I
So
think,
where
I
you
think
end
I'm
up-
a mite bit faster than everybody but Dan.
You probably are because your strength is very high, but your dex isn't, which might have an impact.
Right. No, I'm just wondering if I could stop just long enough to be like, "Hey, you want to keep feasting like this? Help us," and then move on.
You can get away with snarling as you pace, help us because you're inertial, but more than that will probably be, that will be a risk if you want to do it, because every round that you are delayed by could be an issue for Johnny as far as you're aware.
Right. All right, we'll just keep moving.
Okay. So, in the house, we have Corley Hawkhurst, big, bulky guy anyway, long dark hair, facially well manicured beard, moustache, currently in Dalu form, so bulked out, bigger than normal. His suit is straining at the edges. He is was looking pretty fucking furious when he turned up anyway. Literally, the front of the house just broke apart in the peeling row of bricks to reveal a street that isn't fucking there, which he's come racing down and leapt down, and it's closed up behind him. He has leapt through, hands flexing and claws. You can see on him, you can see he has fetishes and gewgaws on his belt and under the coat, the suit coat opening, and he has burst through. He is about 5 yards away at most from you and Emma. Johnny, you are present. You are probably slightly stuffy from the dead person's ashes you have smeared all over yourself. You have one unconscious older, as far as you're aware, normal human over your shoulder. Right next to you is Emma. who is in Dalu form. She has the pretty out of it sister, like she's trying to carry her arm slung over her shoulder, but she might not be completely out of it. It's not quite clear. And there are dead person's ashes just scattered around. Yep. Now, Hawkhurst's reaction to bursting like this, you can see the blossoming rage. It doesn't appear to be death rage just yet, but the blossoming raw fury on his face is like, this is this moment. So what I would like to know from you is what your plan is here before everything kicks off.
I want to get him to death rage. That's my plan. My plan is to get him to death rage.
He's gonna kill Emma and her sister, though.
See, our auspice abilities reset, and I'm banking that you might be able to stun him out of it, and then we can just pile up on him.
Okay. So, right. So, are we going to roll initiative now then?
Yes.
Okay. Let me find his character. I actually wrote what he's one of the characters gets properly written up, so I know what the fuck he can do. There we go.
Actually, Chris, just for the record, I have enough essence between eating humans and whatnot that I think Stormberger's actually going to pop primal strength now to get the speed boost from it.
Okay.
If Harmonious Flame catches up around 2 later, he doesn't see that as big of a deal. Yeah. If she catches up slightly after, I don't know if Thornbreaker's doing the same.
I have the speed gift active, so.
Okay, so you and I are basically running at the same speed.
My speed is 16, for reference.
My speed.
Inertial.
Right, in Urshrul, speed is what? Strength plus Dex plus 5. So in Urshrul it's 6, and with that I gain another 3, so it goes up to 9. So my speed becomes 20.
My speed is...
All right.
Let me just check my speed quick.
While you check that, Johnny, could I please have an initiative roll?
I rolled 8. Which I'm okay with.
I'm sorry, because I didn't mean to interrupt. It was just something that popped in my head that, hey, I do have enough essence to do that.
I was rolling for the NPCs there anyway, just to figure some stuff out.
I didn't want to be like, oh shit, I could have made it there 3 turns earlier, and Pete's dead now.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of running away, bud.
it was effort. I can burn the essence to do this because it's not going to help me heal off ag right now. So.
Okay, so my speed is currently yes, my speed is currently 20.
Nice.
Okay, so we're blitzing ahead of ag.
Right, yeah. We'll get there a bit before ag does. Okay. So, top of the initiative chain here is Corley. I am attempting to figure out what he's going to do because he has quite a lot of capabilities, but there's obviously which of these is actually useful to use here.
I'm gonna do the like the taunting kiss towards him.
You're a terrible person.
So Corley lunges forward. He has not entered death rage, but he does appear to be like absolutely non-death rage, absolutely livid. Like he is,
that's what I wanted.
losing his shit. So he comes at you swinging with
hit and run.
Okay, so you are going to use hit and run. And what is your plan to? Where are you going with it?
So I'm gonna really frustrate him. So I'm gonna try to duck somewhere out of sight where I can still keep in line of sight to the Unconquered Raven, and kind of do one of those I'm hiding in his house if I can pull it off.
Okay, so you're ducking into the side rooms. Give me the Dex Stealth Purity roll.
And I get and since I have Relentless Hunter active since last time, I get my cunning to stealth rolls against this asshole. Hee.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dex is 3, Stealth is 4. That makes 7. Purity is 1. That makes 8. Then 11 for my cunning right now. I'm getting added to this.
He has quite a good primal urge, but you have actually found his lowest stat, which is composure.
Nice. And I'm going to throw a
So
willpower
make him
point on
angry
top
is
of
all
this.
we can do.
Yeah, basically one of the key ways to deal with this guy is make him make missteps. If you can jab him in the right places, his composure, his when he is no longer in control of the situation, he starts making mistakes, which are the key ways to really get at this guy.
All right, 3 successes, Chris. But the key was just to move away from him.
Okay, you've succeeded. He's lost track of you. You dashed away in the house. 3, he has composure equal to or fewer than successes, so he also has shadow paranoia. For what's your purity? 3?
No, purity 1.
Purity 1. Okay, so for 1 turn, he's got shadow paranoia. Okay, that was Hawkhurst. Emma basically stands in front, like she would like to come swinging at this guy with the metal pipe she's got. At the same time, she's got her sister slung over her shoulder, and there was that warring moment of like, what is she going to do? Is she going to
when he showed up last time, I did tell her to run, so I'm hoping.
Yeah, she
Yeet
doesn't.
this asshole.
She
Yeet that
literally-
pipe into his face.
She sort of slips her sister off her shoulder. He sort of collapses into a heap and goes for him with the iron bar.
Oh, I love that bitch.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeet that bar into his face, please.
No. I hope this is gonna work.
She rolls no successes on her attack roll, unfortunately.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, she had quite a good attack roll. So she comes in swinging, and he, despite his rage, he dodges away, out away from the swing and rounds on her, snarling. Johnny, you're up.
Okay. I have 3 essence left. Okay, I'm gonna eviscerate,
Okay.
and I'm going for a very specific target.
Now
Can
that he foolishly turned his attention from you.
Well, I denied him. He doesn't know I'm here. I denied him my defense. I denied him his defense against me. So Chris, can I see a necklace or a fetish he might be wearing?
He has several around his belt and under his, on the inside of his coat. There's a few. There is
There's several on his belt.
Yeah, he has a sort of knotted cage of what looks like, when the inside of concrete construction stuff, they have like metal
Rebar?
strands of metal through, rebar. He's got one that's like quite thin piece of that, like curled up in like almost like a cage, and then
That's what I want. That's what I want.
And, okay, well then, yes, that is a thing you can see on his belt.
So I'm using Eviscerate to deny him his defense, but I'm specifically trying to grab this piece of rebar off the belt. Or better yet, if I can yank the entire belt off it. If I could pants him, basically, that'd be great.
If I could pants this guy, that'd be swell.
You're trying to grab, you're trying to disarm him of that thing off his belt then, okay?
Yeah.
What are you doing with the guy you've got, this human?
I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna use him as bait, even though I should. Actually, no. I'm gonna come like bounding out, drop him, and then like try to grab.
Okay. You could try and grab a fetish. Okay. So give me it's an attack roll. He has no defense from the eviscerate, but the attack is against the obviously the fetish trying to rip away.
Mm-hmm. Oh God. And 1 more point of willpower, so that's 3, 5, 8. Okay. 2 successes so far, with a reroll on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 6 dice. with another 1 success.
So
3
total is
successes
3.
total.
Okay, so you go in, you grab and you rip, and you tear the thing away from this. Once it's hanging on its belt, it's not just like literally on its belt. It's tied onto it with a bunch of stuff. So you basically grab and you rip away at the connecting the threads and tangles of cord, and you pull the fetish away in your hands. Just need to double check the rules for fetishes. I think by touching it, you know what it does. So let me just check.
And Chris, can you draw essence from a fetish?
Only specific ones that have essence in them as a thing. It's not. It's no longer a thing that all fetishes have essence in them.
Okay.
It used to be that they would always have like an essence pool, but it's not actually the standard now. Okay. Any wealth touch? Oh no, you'd need to study it to get the you really sense the spiritual power held within. So you know it's a fetish. You know, you need to study it a bit longer to ID what it does. Although you probably have a fairly good idea.
I think it's the spirit of Galatium locked in this
So
thing.
you lunge in, you rip it away. He rounds with a snarl, and he's gonna. So that's in your turn. Top of the initiative round. He goes for you again.
All right,
He's
hit
gonna
and run.
swing at you. Okay, make the dice roll.
Thank God I pulled Wallflower last session for an essence refresh. Otherwise, this would be a lot
Willpower.
scarier.
Do you mean a willpower refresh?
Yep, 6 successes.
Oof. Okay, you have exceptionally succeeded. So you can double move essentially with the hit and run if you want.
And I'm telling Emma to run.
Help
is coming.
Shouting. Yeah. Okay. Let me just put this out. It's because of the exceptional hunt. So you have bolted away again. Emma. He went for you, so that gave her a moment of breathing space. You yell run again. She stops to kind of get control of her shit. Basically, it's panting. She would like to hammer this guy, but seeing that you are darting away again, he makes a swipe for you with his claws and misses and just gouges through a chunk of the wall with the sheer strength empowering him at the moment.
So, Chris, can I kind of like taunt him with that? I'm like, like I hear the chunks going, and I just go, "Oh, that's gonna be expensive to fix."
Yeah, you can. Emma sort of seeing that he's turning this raw fury on you, like
Misty, get him, bitch.
shit, like jams the metal bar into her own belt and goes and basically hauls her sister back up again and is trying to drag her away now that she sees that this rabid werewolf focus is basically entirely on, you're really pissing this guy off. It is Johnny's turn again. You have in your hand this tangle knot rebar, and you can sense the spiritual power within. However, there is one very angry Eladoth coming through the house for you. Doesn't know exactly where you are, but he is well up for shredding you. Emma is still close. He might refocus onto her if she doesn't get the fuck out of there quickly, but she's struggling to get her sister up and get out. So what is your move?
I don't want to talk. Like, can I sense that the spirit inside is conscious?
It's you are not able to communicate with the spirit inside. You can try and activate it, although if you don't have the right capability, it might not do anything. There is a what's the phrase? Like I said, there's an active spirit inside. You know there is a spirit in there. You don't have the ability to talk to it, however.
Okay. So
Will the spirit be free?
Be free, little spirit.
yeah, do I know? I don't know if I could free it somehow is the issue. I don't know how to break a fetish is a
Asking if
problem.
it's possible to. So yes, you think if you break a fetish, you will free the spirit inside.
I just don't know how to break this piece of rebar right now is the issue.
It's a chunk of rebar is the only thing. Yeah, it's so.
No, so at this point, I'm kind of like like walking around his house stealthily.
So we had a
just-
moment. We lost you for a moment there where everything froze, and then
Oh.
caught up. So you were saying you weren't sure how to break it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to break a piece of rebar
Yeah.
right now, other than like shifting into Garu and trying to bite through it.
Yeah. So what are
Is
you
it
going to do?
one
With your
piece of rebar, Chris, or is it a couple of pieces
No.
that are like welded together?
Yeah, it's more like a welded and entangled into a cage, and what has
I
some other
just
stuff
tried-
woven into it. It's mocked with claw sigils. It has some other stuff tangled into it, but the rebar is really the important bit of it. If you know what I mean.
I'd just try ripping it in half, Pete.
I don't have the strength to do it like you do.
Usually rebar welds aren't that strong. Like you wiggle them and they'll snap.
All right, I'm gonna give it a shot. What is this gonna be, Chris?
This will be a strength plus athletics roll.
Okay.
With it'll be based on the successes you get, whether you're successful. So it's not a penalty; it's just a flat out roll.
All right, boys.
And you might be
Stormbringer
able
with
to
this would be
weaken
much
it, so
I was going to say Stormbringer, like,
Yep.
yes, I'll smash.
you might be able to weaken it and then rip it apart next time. You know, you can cause damage to.
Yeah, I'm still hidden around his house, and I got a
I
couple
mean,
more
yeah.
of essence.
Or we could keep it and maybe use it.
See, I'm banking on the fact that if I free the
Exactly.
spirit right now, I can use it as we can use it as an ally.
But we
against
don't know
Hawk.
that because he made a deal with Hawkhurst. That's a gamble. I would rather just play keep away until we pummel
He's
this
got a
guy.
So-
point.
What was
Is
that?
Johnny going to make a gamble?
Johnny, it's up to you. We're not there.
Are you feeling lucky, punk?
I'm gonna YOLO this, boys.
Oh god.
Okay, give me the
Oh,
roll one.
dear. This never works well.
Oh god. 4 successes.
What?
I threw a point of willpower on top of it. I need this. Ah!
Yeet.
You
So
cheeky
how much-
Araka.
So total you said was 6, was that?
No, four
Oh,
successes.
4. Okay, 4. Right. You grab it, you start to wrench. You are not able to destroy the fetish in this round, but as you're ripping, like Keith said, some of the points where it's been welded together are the metal stress there is just coming apart, and just bending it as well as best you can. The air inside it is distorting, but as the power is now starting to fracture and sort of come apart, the claw sigils carved into the metal are also starting to bleed. What to you looks like light at first. You realize it's essence boiling out of it. You're not sure if you can even see it, but energy is starting to boil out of this thing.
All right.
The air around you is going in twilight. It's just like as if there is almost steam in twilight around you, and there is a strong taste on your tongue of brick dust and sort of machine oil and churned mud. Smell in the air of exhaust fumes and mixed concrete. There's the resonance around you is just like crashing out with urban resonance.
And I'm basically just muttering under my breath, "You owe me for this, I hope."
Hawkhurst is coming looking for you. Please, can you give me a stealth plus dex roll?
Okay. Can I activate fading to up my chances here?
What is that an action to activate?
It's a merit. Hold on, I have to see what it.
Yeah,
I see.
You'll need to double check. If it's not specified, then probably no, because you should have done it on your turn, kind of thing, as an action, probably. Let me
Yeah,
double check.
I'm just looking up the merit.
Plus con, he's got bonus dice.
Guys, I'm doing pretty well right now.
You're surviving better than I.
Wait,
Was worried
till he
about.
gets his hands on you. That's all I'm saying.
Your character
Yeah.
has a kinship with the shadows, and the reality compounds with each person who does not see her. Each time an individual fails to notice your character in a scene, all future attempts in that scene suffer a cumulative -1 penalty. Once per scene, add your character's cunning to any rolls to act unnoticed or unobtrusive.
So you can use the once per scene on this, yeah.
Cool. And
Yeah. I mean, basically, Johnny is surviving this by dodging the fuck away as quickly as he can. That's why it's gone well for Johnny so far. As Keith says, if Hawkers can get his claws on Johnny, but that's Johnny's combat style, isn't it? Johnny's thing is you don't get your claws on me. Unlike, say, Thornbreaker or Stormbringer, who take the hits, Johnny is just like, I'm not fucking there, buddy.
Okay. All right, and I'm being really cheeky, and I'm almost like stalking him through his own house to get that bonus.
Technically, he's trying to stalk you, but it's not working out very well.
Oh my god.
Give me that roll.
Chris, since he failed twice against me, does he get a -2 penalty on rolls?
No, because those weren't rolls to notice you. That was a gift activation roll. If he fails this roll, he will take a penalty from it on a future roll, because he is now actively trying to find where the fuck you've gone. Because last time you were popping back up from swing at you, or he was going for Emma, so he wasn't having to make these checks.
8. Alright, I'm rolling 11 dice. Oh, wait. Am I still keying off Relentless Hunter because I'm making stealth rolls against him?
Potentially,
yes! Yes, 14 dice on this.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's without willpower. 5 successes.
Okay, well, let's add the exceptional beats and everything. Okay, so he is obviously trying to find you with not a lot of success. He only didn't even roll 1 success. So he's storming through it. Like, he literally, at one point, you're there, ha-ha, tearing it apart, and the wall of the room bursts open. He has the rending claws facet of strength, so he does massive damage to objects himself. So he basically storms through the walls of his house, just smashing through, looking for you. But you like duck back in an alcove, and then when he's looking around the other way, you roll out the room carefully with this thing, and you're doing that thing of just staying that one step ahead of this guy. He's just chucking furniture out the way, storming along, absolutely furious.
I'm like Aladdin, one step ahead.
No, what I'm picturing in my head is, have you seen the State Farm commercial with the guy with the fishing pole? Woo-hoo, you gotta be faster than that. Like, that's what I see. I see Pete doing that with like himself. Like, oh, gotta be faster.
Yeah. Every so often you make a noise that he clues in on, and he can see the trail of the disturbed twilight from the damaged fetish, but he can't quite get you. Okay, that was Hawk. Emma got her sister back around her shoulder and is trying to haul her out. She's having about like, where the fuck do I go? She decides to try and go out the front door because currently Hawkeye is plunged into all the side rooms after you. So she's there trying, because no one's actually fucking opened the front door apart from the poor bugger unconscious on the floor. The rest of it is closed. She's getting the damn thing open. She's hauling her sister out the front. She's on the front steps. Johnny, you're up. You are still one step ahead of him. You've done a lot of damage to the fetish. Are you going to go for it again, or are you going to?
Yep. I'm going for it again, boys.
Either you or Armis. I don't know how the sense works on. I can't remember on pack awareness, but the pack are close now. So Armis, when you was aware of that, they are close. You can expect Stormbringer and Thornbreaker to be bursting through that door like any moment now. So, mate, you don't have long. You have to hold on for.
All right. Well, we need allies, right? All right, boys.
Yeah, this may result in enemies. I'm just saying.
Flip that coin.
I gotta
Do it.
I'll be so disappointed in doing so well if this turns badly for me, but at this point, I feel like I'm committed.
Do what you gotta do, bro.
5 successes!
Wow! Bro, are you channeling your inner storm? Like shit you have no right to be doing, you're pulling off?
Yeah, he's like you in social situation.
Oh my god!
That's usually my gig. Shit I have no right to be pulling off.
That is desperate strength right there. That's what that is.
So you've ducked into a bit of the kitchen. You go, well, okay, I've got a moment, and you wrench and you tear, and one of the welded parts just comes off completely. And a chunk of rebar comes off, and you wrench it open. That the essence boiling out of it unfolds like a flower, and in twilight, you feel the fetish's power snap. You're touching it; it is no longer an object of power. And in twilight, unfolding into the air, is a spirit. It is still in the process of sort of coming of de-fetishizing, as it were. It is ceasing to be in the metaphysical kind of folded up imprisoned state that it was in. It is coming out with long, limber arms of metal plating, brick, but those are almost the superstructure. But much of it is glass, made of glassy metal, or glassy substance. You can't see all of it yet, as all these limbs are unfolding, impossibly out of nowhere. But it is broken and it is free. Hawkhurst.
Oh,
Sorry, yeah, go on.
I was just gonna be like dramatically like, hope this works and like.
Hawkhurst has stopped from chasing you and stalked back into the center of the building, into the hallway. He's just come in. He's just seen Emma like going out the door. You're not sure whether he's going to go for her because he can't get you, or if he's standing there because he's planning what he's going to do next. Let me just have a quick look at it. His capabilities again. Yeah, not massively helpful, is it? Okay. He's been moving around, not looking for you specifically, but trying to just get him. There is some essence going off in the air. He's using gifts of some sort. Now, at the bottom of this round, so the current round, we've just started with him at top. Then we will be rolling initiative for Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, who will be arriving in the following round. So Emma, seeing him stalk back in as got assistant, and is now like basically not running but trying to get the fuck down the path away from the house as fast as she can. Back down to Johnny again. The spirit is in the process of unfolding itself. It's not really doing anything yet. On the other hand, it's just been ejected from a fetish, so it's probably going to be the human equivalent of woozy or disorientated for a bit anyway.
Yep.
What's Johnny's choice?
Dealer's choice, right? Is there like a sharp knife in the kitchen here?
Yeah, loads.
I'm gonna grab like I'm gonna grab like a butcher's knife.
Okay.
And he's not aware of me, right?
No, he's not. He's focused on Emma at the moment.
I've only got 2 points of essence left, and my pack is showing up. All right, I'm gonna shank him. There's an eviscerate coming.
Okay, that's you can do that this round. So he's defense 0.
All right, 6. I have a specialty in knives for 7.
I didn't realize you had a specialty in knife.
Yeah, I have a specialty in knives.
Good at shanking people.
It's finally come up.
Shiv.
Actually, I would probably have brought that knife that we took off the fire claimed, but I'd rather stab him with something of his own. Unless that's a better knife with more.
No, it'd be the same.
Just a generic knife.
Yep. Or like a butcher's cleaver, whatever the hell he's got. 2 successes, 5 rerolls. 3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, so 3 successes, yeah?
Yep.
Really, just 3? I'm surprised.
I'm only
Well, how
rolling
much
7
damage does
dice.
the knife deal?
Did you roll with the? Did you do the watch eclipse? The
Eviscerate, yeah.
The rote.
Yep. I wrote
Okay,
it.
so three successes.
The knife also has its own damage, doesn't it?
It does, which I am factoring in with. That's I don't worry about that. I'll factor that in. So you lunge at him. He doesn't see you coming. He's focused on it. When you go in and slam the knife into his back, you slam it in. You pull it out with a horrible slurping noise to see that while you have cut through his flesh, through his cloak, you pull it out. There's some blood on the knife on his back, but there is no wound. And nearby, on the floor, the old man bucks twists. He's lying on his front where you dropped him as a knife wound appears in his back.
Oh shit!
And blood starts to wash out.
No, this is he killed the old man.
He hasn't killed him, but he's just knifed him in the back, as it were.
No. If we kill the old man can't take damage for him anymore.
Correct. If you kill,
Yeah, but we don't know if he's tied. We don't know if he's tied to anyone else, Keith.
The knife goes in. You see this guy tries. Hawkhurst turns on you like furious, and then you see his eyes tracking over to his father, who is on the floor, bleeding out. And we'll get to that. So, initiative rolls.
Turns your own father into a cultist. You. I hate this
But
you asshole.
Butt face. Hey, ass butt.
Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, give me those initiatives.
Yes.
So for the initial round, my initiative will be 12. Following rounds, it will be 9.
Did I do that wrong? I did that wrong.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, hold on. Oh, my bad.
I got an 11.
Oh, hold on. How do we do this? How do we do? So
Exclamation
plus
point,
whatever
in it,
my
space, whatever the bonus is, yeah.
Just for any listeners wondering, we've got a new dice bot we brought on, so this is why there's a bit of people trying to figure out how to do dice
and
rolling.
even funny, it worked out the exact same.
That's so funny.
Okay, Thornbreaker.
No, it'd be I think his is 12, right? Because of your gift.
It's 12, but I'm actually going to delay myself behind Thornbreaker if I can.
Is Thornbreaker 12 as well? Sorry.
No, I'm 11.
No, he's 11. I want to drop back 1 in the initiative.
You can. All right. Let me. In that case, that will. All right.
Well, actually, you know what? No, we can make this easier. I'm just not going to activate the drop of a hat aspect of my merit.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
And
That
then
makes
I
more
stay at
sense.
9, and there's no arguments.
Hook
There's no
that
like,
out.
how do we do this?
Okay. So 9. Thornbreaker 11. What's Thornbreaker's dex?
My dexterity in Urshul is 4.
Okay, so you're going because Emma's on the same initiative, but her dex isn't as high. So, right, new round. You know that Harmonious Flame is a little bit behind. She will be here soon, but there will be a little bit of time before the whole pack is here. The Unconquered Raven is, fluttering around on the edges of the building, sort of arcing around it in a state of growing agitation as everything's kicking off. But top of the round, Hawkhurst looks at the fallen body of his father. Now, one thing this tells you, right, when he transferred the damage across, Hawkhurst did not see your attack coming.
Mm-hmm.
So he has not intentionally done this.
Oh boy!
It's not like an activated ability to copy the damage across. He turns across to see his father with a lethal knife wound in his back, currently bleeding everywhere. Not enough to kill him, but he is mortal. Who knows how long to bleed out? And he turns to you, and that there's that moment of him trying to keep control, and then he death rages. The whole of the building suddenly is filled with this, 8-foot tall Garu form as he roars in fury and lunges at you.
Hit and run out the window.
Okay, so make that hit and run roll.
Oh my god! Hit and run.
Why you do this?
Because I'm banking that
Life is slightly
harmonious.
bad for him.
I'm banking that harmonious flame can show up, hit him with her auspice ability to stun him, and then you guys just rip him apart while he's stunned.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's a good idea. We might kill Jenny, damn it.
Shit happens. He's too dangerous.
Depends. I guess depends what his range is on that power.
What was Johnny's roll on?
I'm rolling it right now, and this is going to be my final
Dan.
point of willpower.
Shit happens. That's all I can say. I like Jenny and all. Shit
4
happens.
successes. Chris.
Unacceptable.
Okay, you've succeeded again, so you've snapped Shadow Paranoia on for a turn. Although he's in Berserk Rage, so he goes for you. You just dart the hell out of there and away, and sort of through the window you broke in earlier, and out. You roll out onto the grass. On
my way out, I'm like on my way out towards the spirit. Help!
Stormbreaker, you were the spirit's still manifesting out of the wreckage of the fetish, or appearing, coming, not materializing, manifesting. Breaker, so you and Stormbreaker have pounded up. You've come up you've just gone through a bit of hedge past the gate into the grounds. Ahead, you're probably passing Emma, who's trying to get dragging her sister out, and has seen these 2 huge wolves banding up. And you can see through the open door into the hall as Hawkhurst his flesh has twitched, flowed, erupted, burst, and ripped into the form of Death Rage. That's a point. I need to check something before we do actually make that roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, more bad stuff.
Oh no!
Here's the problem if you're putting him into Death Rage. Right now, it doesn't matter what I throw at him, I can't hurt him.
Let's find Death Rage. Here we go.
I understand, but he doesn't listen. I didn't realize this was going to throw him into Death Rage, first of all. And
No, but you were rooting for it.
I was rooting for Death
wanted to
Rage.
make
I
him
didn't
Death
realize
Rage,
that
sir.
this specific action would do it.
Okay, you do not need to make a.
Rage, sir.
You do not need to make a Death Rage check because it's only contagious along pack lines, and you're not part of his pack. So anyway, Thornbreaker, you're up.
Hey, Dan, you were looking for an excuse to take Garu. This is it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently.
seriously. You go to Garu and you grapple this bitch and you deny him defense, sir. You deny him defense against me, and you let me go to town with my 16 8 again dice pool, sir.
Okay. All right. Before I worry
Thornbreaker puts a
about
bullet in his own head. I'm done.
Chris, I have a question. If I survive this, is everything I just pulled off worth cunning for?
No.
Damn!
No. Using hit and run a lot is not cunning for.
Denied. Alright, so I am not going into Garu form off the bat. What I am gonna do is try to get a rack in on this guy if I can hit him. So what is his defense currently?
6.
6. Alright, so let's see. That is...
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab some water.
Yep.
I'm doing one of those as I roll past Stormbreaker. Sorry!
I'm just going to snarl at him as he goes over my head.
I'm gonna spend a point of willpower. So that's gonna give me 8 dice to roll.
I'm just grabbing some water. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Do good, Dan. Do good.
That's the hope.
You know,
3 successes.
I'm breaking
Okay.
out the real dice.
And
I don't
that
like the way
that
she's
will
working.
be 5 damage.
And are you racking?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a
Arm rack.
yeah, let's do an arm rack. This guy's a grappling
Okay.
maniac.
You go in, you grab the arm, big thick meat arm, you rip and you turn, you rip away, you taste there's blood, there's pain, there's cracking, and you pull away and he is unharmed, and the body on the floor convulses, and you see the shredding of flesh and the cracking of the arm of the guy on the floor. Who has
The guy
now
that's
taken
dead.
quite a lot of damage.
How much damage did you send across?
5.
5.
Dan, do you initiate a grapple?
Are you initiating a grapple?
I'm not initiating a grapple.
You
Okay.
fuck.
You have betrayed it. Okay.
Wait, wouldn't his defense be lower because I attacked him, caused him to death rage, so it would be 5. Dan just
He
attacked
then-
him.
He then attacked you, so his defense reset from his action.
Fair. I was just making sure.
Okay, that was a Thornbreaker. Emma continues to drag her sister away down the path. Stormbringer. You've seen your packmate move in, do the classic savage pull and yank, kind of circling, parrying attack, and the damage is that this guy on the floor is just coming apart in sprays of gore. But Hawkhurst is...
So now he has what? 5 defense?
Yeah.
He is now down to 5 defense, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to bite him.
Okay.
Staying inertial for the moment. If he tries to hit me, I will reflexively shift if necessary. But for now,
Okay.
I will stay inertial. That gives me. He's got 5 defense now. Yes.
He's down to 5, yeah.
Just double checking math here. 6.
So does since technically his father is getting in the way, does Keith get to roll bonus dice?
Only if he went for the father.
Okay.
Yeah, Bloody-Handed Hunter would trigger if he went for the father.
I
Given
was
the
just trying
fact
to. I was trying to
with
be
lots of
cheeky.
lag on the floor, I'm not sure the extra dice would be necessary, but you
No.
know.
No. Hold on. I'm doing maths here. 4, 10
Well-
plus an additional 3 for that brings me up to 13. Plus I have 5 in brawl brings me up to 18 plus a specialty brings me to 19. His defense is 5, gives me 14. If I blow willpower, gives me 17 dice. This is disgusting that I get 17 dice to bite this asshole, but I like it.
Yeah. Roll well.
All right. That is, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have to re-roll all of the 6.
Oh my god.
Why couldn't I have this earlier? That's 10 successes.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That's
So
a double exceptional.
you go in to rip and tear, and of course it copies the damage all across to the human. So let me just firstly tag up the beats for the exceptional. Tasty beats on the hunt. Sacred hunt triggering a lot here. So you go in, you rip, you tear, just like Thornbreak. You've delivered what should be an absolute shattering hit, even to a Gary would be like, "Oh, that actually kind of stung." And you rip away, and with a convulsion and a fountain of blood, the man on the floor expires in horrific, like something invisible has torn and worried at his flesh and ripped him. It ripped him to shreds, and he expires. You are pretty sure he's dead because he's human, and no one can really be functioning with that little kind of cohesiveness of their flesh and bones.
Now, does the arm rack still affect him? Because I'm going to deliver an arm
No,
rack.
that gets copied across as well. Any racks and everything have all been copied across. He is literally unaffected. The stand effect of this power...
So I don't have to put in the arm rack?
You don't have to.
All right, I'm not going to, since we're going to, maybe if the next attack actually hurts him, then I'll throw my arm rack out.
So the guy expires. That was Stormbringer.
I've
Johnny.
myself 3 dice.
You could roll 3 more dice if you want the guy to be even more like pulped mess on the floor.
Question for you, Chris. So I threw in a willpower and negated myself 3 dice. Can I just have that willpower back?
No.
Yes, that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you didn't,
all-out attack gives me the bonus dice, which I negated, and
Yeah.
Right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, turn. I'm out of tricks. I'm literally out of tricks right now.
You don't need any tricks. The cavalry's here. We need Ag to show up. So if you have some way of teleporting her here,
I'll be there probably like a turn or 2.
Can I bring people with me through my auspice ability?
No.
Damn. All right.
Why don't you cover Emma's retreat?
Yeah, I'm going to spend the turn going into Urshul. However, I need the extra bulk.
Yeah, if these guys are going to attack him again, these guys, then Emma's sister, we don't know if she's already part of the pack or not, and we can only hope that his power has a range.
Yeah.
So the further the sister is, the better.
I'm gonna come out and help Emma and try to get.
Yeah.
Try to get them away. Or since I'm really well hidden, I do like more of try to get her close so she can hide the body here.
That was Johnny. Ag, you will Harvest Flame will arrive at the end of this round.
Okay.
All right, I need to figure this one out carefully. Okay. So this is visible to everyone who is in a line of sight position to see it. It's not just in twilight. There is a ripping sound, something like a ripping sound, somewhat like someone ripping through large amounts of card and paper, but also a whole series of violin strings at the same time.
Oh no.
Weird rhythmic tearing noise. As reality... we've got some small children shouting in the background. I'm not sure if reality quivers and rends open as a shadow gateway forms in the hallway.
Oh god.
A manifestation causes a shadow gateway. So this ripping, this pulsating rent opens up in reality. That's the top of this round. Hawkhurst has been attacked by Thornbreaker and Stormbringer.
Go after Thornbreaker.
Pretty much random as to who he's likely to go after, to be honest. It is Thornbreaker.
Yes!
Thornbreaker, what is your defense?
Sorry, bro. I need you to take it. I'm sitting on 6 ag or 5 ag. Yeah,
Okay, that's
bro.
pretty good.
You're taking these hits.
Yeah.
You can also hit him with your auspice ability for a penalty.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
take an action to do the other two. Oh no, you're right. You can use your you could have seen it in your dreams.
Well, no, I'm talking about
I
the
didn't
you
realize
saw
I
it in your
muted. Yeah, oops. Yeah, I will use that and have seen in my dreams that he misses me.
Okay, so that's a 3 dice modifier, I think.
I believe so.
Okay, so he is going to have to.
Bro, it's time to eat these shots. I'm just saying.
And I was muted before, so just so the gathered crowd knows, in her Shul form, Thornbreaker has 8 defense.
Okay, so yeah, he's going for you with an incredibly powerful strike, but does not have an awful lot of dice behind it. You lucky bugger. Okay, he has missed.
Yes.
As I drift.
I forgot his strength is boosted for being in Garrett, so he does have 3 more dice.
3 more.
Let's have a look. Actually, does he have
3 more
more?
dice isn't awful.
No, it's not.
He has tagged you with it, but it's not for an awful lot of damage.
I do have 2 armor, also.
He doesn't have. Luckily for you, he doesn't have Slaughterer.
From what?
With merit.
From what?
He's
Yeah,
got-
from my merit.
Okay,
He's got fortified form.
he's hit you for 3 lethal in total.
So I take
So
1
modify
lethal.
as yeah.
You take 1 lethal, 2 action?
Nope, just 1 lethal.
No, he's got the
nice.
injury. There's 2 interactions. There's bulletproof stuff that downgrades ballistic damage to bashing, and then there's just armor that just soaks stuff down but can never reduce you below like 1
Don't you
bashing.
have that gift that also reduces damage, Dan?
I do, but I'm not going to spend it yet.
Probably not worth it for taking 1 plink
Yeah.
of damage.
no.
Yeah, so he swings, and you mostly die. You die. You've seen this almost in part of the dreams where you've seen them before. You're like, oh, you see it coming, you dash aside, and this what would have been a really meaty hit turns to scrape down your flank, which is it is what it is. Thornbreaker.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm
sorry.
will my hunter's aspect apply even though he's in Garu, like even though he's in Death Rage?
Yes, you can. It will. I think it will have a penalty to it, but it will. It can work. It depends what the effect. Actually, it depends what the effect is exactly. I'll have to read it.
Yeah. So the effect for it gives the resigned condition. Where are we? Resigned. Your character face down is Hunter, and the frightening beast has shown him the essence of doom. While he may still fight or flee, there's a part of him inside that welcomes the release of death. Your character may not spend willpower to add dice or resistance for any action to defend himself from a deadly threat. He can fuel gifts or use other actions, but his self-defense becomes lackluster at best.
Okay. He's
But
in
I don't know
Garu.
if that matters in Death Rage.
Yeah, it does. There is a penalty to it. Basically, it's a mind affecting thing. I can't remember where the exact rules are for the penalty it slaps on you, but there is one. Oh, I can't find it.
Alright, if it's going to matter, Thornbreaker at this point is a little bit apprehensive about just dealing damage to this guy because Thornbreaker is deeply concerned about Jenny's well-being at the moment. So
What happened?
I said it, at the moment Thornbreaker is apprehensive about dealing damage to this guy because he is deeply concerned about Jenny's well-being. So he is trying to do damage control as much as possible, so he's going to use his hunter's aspect to give the
there is no penalty to this because you are not attempting to change his course of action. If you do something that's trying to influence his course of action, then there'll be a big penalty. But because you're just debuffing him, but this won't change how he behaves overall, then that's fine to apply. So let's have a quick look at unsuspect. So how are you trying to apply it?
I'm going to do a stare down, which will be my presence plus intimidation plus my glory. So that's 8
and
dice.
he rolls composure plus prime lodge. His composure is shit, but his prime lodge is good.
Alright.
His composure is even worse now. I know there's no penalties for it, but he's just tweaked.
Yeah.
We got 2 successes.
Aw.
Second babies.
So that we have a small chorus somewhere in this house of the children hooting and wailing. Not sadly, but it's
Sorry.
making a lot. So how many
Chris?
successes was it?
2 successes.
Okay. You have applied the condition.
Okay.
Nice.
Chris, quick question. Where's the bit about flaring renown and like what it does and what it takes?
It's on page 99, I believe. You spend a point of essence. You flare. You choose the renown. You flare, and you get a condition based on that renown. The specific conditions are then in the condition section of the book, the back. Okay, so you basically catch this Garu's eyes, and you. It's not a traditional stare down because he's not really intimidated per se, but you catch him and sort of almost you reach out to what fragment of self-control there still is in there, and you try and bear down on that. And he's almost submitting completely to the rage at this point. So he's losing control of his own will in that respect, his ability to exert it. Emma has heard the pss of Johnny and sort of veered slightly off the path towards you. Stormbringer.
Well, now in paw form.
Yeah.
Roll initiative. Oh no, it's not it. This is
End of this round, you'll be rolling initiative back. Although we'll see what's left to roll initiative over at that point.
Oh god.
What?
Oh no.
What did you just say, Chris? I'm sorry. I was
Nothing. It's Stormbringer's turn. It's Stormbringer's turn.
Oh god.
Can you repeat that, please?
What have I done?
It's Stormbringer's turn.
No, you said something before that.
It's Stormbringer's turn. He just said it twice. That's all you need to worry about.
About the initiative, I said we'll see how much there is worth rolling initiative over by the time it's by the next round.
Fuck me. All right, we're just. No, Dan, you didn't attack him, right?
No.
Okay. So let me take one die out of the pool.
Roll well, loyal shoe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. 6.
Ruin him.
7. That's
Ruin
8
him.
on the initial roll.
The beats are churning in at high speed.
Wow.
That is 8 on the initial roll.
That is astounding.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna add 3 more just to be safe.
I wonder who's gonna die now.
Yeah, right?
Hawkhurst.
we hope.
Yeah.
Somehow he made Ag and I part of his cultists in that one interaction we have.
How many successes?
12.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That's good because it's not enough to box Emma's sister out with aggravated damage,
Oh,
so we
shit.
haven't just need to kill her. In the garden, you rip, you tear out in the garden. Emma staggers and screams in a mixture of horror and rage and grief as her sister, literally back, just erupts with bloody tears and claws, and this woman just topples in a sluicing spray of blood.
Do I hear this?
Yes.
What have
Okay.
you done, you foolish cub?
Johnny,
Wait.
you have just seen this woman. Emma is dragging her sister towards you, and then her sister convulses and just she doesn't quite get eviscerated, but great tears and rents rip through her body, and you're in that thing where you're standing there, and suddenly you are just soaked with red. The woman is still alive, but she is in a bad way.
I do like one of those motions, like put her on my back, and I try to get her further away from Hawkhurst, hoping there's
Okay.
a range.
Emma is not cooperating with putting her on your back for reasons that are probably obvious. It is now Ag's time to roll initiative, but she's just zoomed off.
I
However-
have to zoom off for a second too.
Okay, there is someone else at the top of the initiative chain who will probably get to go before Ag anyway.
Who's going to fuck my day?
Ag, it's your initiative turn for initiative.
How the hell is he passing all this damage on to everybody else?
We knew that this was gonna happen, Keith!
And you've been told something else relating to this, but you may have forgotten it. What was Ag?
13.
13. Okay, so yeah, you're not going first. You're quite high up the chain.
Yeah, we found out that in the previous tyrant encounters that they had this ability that if they were killed, they just would kill other people who were their cultists. And
If
they
they're
would
nearby
die
enough.
if they were nearby enough.
Yeah. You also know there's something else. I don't know how. I can't remember exactly what you're told, so I'll hold off saying it. But that'll probably come up soon anyway. Right. Something. Okay. Through the shadow gateway comes a limb. You recognise the limb because it is guilty earth. Brave flesh, corpse meat, dripping black void ichor, and raw self-loathing reaches through, grabs Hawkhurst, and pulls this death-raging werewolf through. And Hawkhurst is not cooperating with this. Hawkhurst is like the death-raging werewolf just gets grabbed around the torso by this enormous hand. You see the moment of like rage and confusion as the guy tries to try and rip at the hand, this meaty fist, and pulls him through the shadow gateway. You hear in first tongue, with this emanating from the gateway, enough guilt. Now you are ready.
Oh shit.
Famire's Flame, you've just arrived on the scene. You've just seen
Garrett's gonna eat him.
through this thing. You've seen a massive spirit hand come through, pull him into the gateway in the hall. There is a woman over there bleeding messily everywhere, with her sobbing sister like trying to do the hands over wounds method of stopping her bleeding. That timeless classic. The pack are sort of around the place doing things. There is a rising sound of chaos in the city behind you, and the sound of sirens at this point kicking off. Though God knows where they're going. There must be reports throughout the entire fucking town. So what are you doing?
I'm slightly torn because obviously I just arrived. I don't actually know what is going on with this giant hand of guilty earth trying to pull the. But I did hear that now you are ready. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there's no trying to. He has just bodily gone and pulled him through.
Okay. So it's
So
probably
Hawkins
gonna
has
eat
been
it
removed
and
from
add
the,
its face to
equation.
its other faces. So that's great. Is that enough for me as a revenge against Hawkhurst, I wonder? Or do I want him killed? But then I see this woman who is bleeding. Johnny told me through the
Nobody
telepathic
saw
link that
anything.
you found her in this place, right?
Yeah.
So I'm putting two and two together and seeing that she's here so that and I remember the thing about the tyrants shunting their damage and kill hits, as it were, onto others. And I'm thinking, we need to get this woman away so that we can kill him. So I go to. Should I wonder. Should I stop his rage so he's stunned? But it doesn't matter
You
because
can't see him now.
Okay. In that
Well,
case,
unless you spend the time to look across, you might see him, but he's not in the physical. He's crossed over to the shadow through the shadow gateway.
That might actually be considered far enough.
okay. In that case, I'm gonna go to. I don't actually know Emma, do I? I haven't met her.
No, I don't think you have.
No.
You've been told about her. You've seen her in the club briefly.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the two women, and I don't have any medicine, but I'm
I
gonna,
do.
I guess, help with stop the bleeding.
Okay, in that case, make an assistance roll. It is probably going to be int or wits or dex, whichever's higher, plus your medicine dice pool, which you don't have any, so it's a -3 unskill penalty. You might want to spend willpower. And we'll add dice to Emma's attempt to stop her sister bleeding to death.
If we ever want this woman to join our pack, we need to help her. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, unless you want to just let the sister die and then spin it, but she was killed by the evil sorcery of your foe. Join us. It wasn't anything to do with us.
Technically true. Technically true.
So.
I think we should consider that Plan B.
Yeah, that's probably the fail state plan.
Yep.
That's Plan C,
spell
following Stormbringer killing himself over killing his sister for no reason.
All right. So whose turn is it?
of the willpower.
It's Ag's turn. She's currently rolling, hopefully.
No,
Anything?
No.
no successes.
Okay, so you slam over, you shifting from Ursula to humans, you sort of slide up and try and help with this woman who is bleeding everywhere. Hawkhurst, who knows what's going on with Hawkhurst? Thornbreaker. You can see further into the building the spirit that has sort of finished coming out of the fetish. It is a spider-like tangle of long limbs of glass, brick, and metal, with a hanging bud of faces hanging sort of beneath it. Face masks, but they're more like people's mugshots or photos of people imprinted over face masks, anything else, which is finished like shaking itself free of the fetish and is now essentially doing the spirit equivalent of looking around in some confusion.
If I talk to it, I can't go help Emma's sister, right?
Yeah, not really.
Dan, what's your medicine dice pool?
2.
Mine's 3. I'm going to go help her.
Okay, good. All right, so Thornbreaker...
And minus 3 as well, so we can
Okay.
teamwork that.
So, all right, so, and then is this portal to the shadow still open?
Yes, it is. You can't see through it, but there is a gateway.
Okay. So,
Can you give me an int plus occult roll, actually?
Yes.
See how much you know about shadow gateways, because this is a standard spirit manifestation power.
Yes. So,
Can I roll
So
it as
you
well,
may know
Chris?
how
I have int and occult.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Thornbreaker gets it or not. If he doesn't, then you roll just...
that is a success.
Okay, so you know that shadow gateways last until the end. Basically, you know the equivalent of they last until the end of the scene, usually.
Okay. So in that
That
case,
gateway will stay for a while.
all right, because before it closes, I may want to do something. But first, I'm going to turn to the spirit that has emerged and say, am I aware that Johnny broke it?
You can surmise that I might have broken
surmise
it.
that
There's a
you've broken
trashed
it.
fetish on the floor, and you've
Okay,
seen it
alright.
on what's his face's belt. So.
So then I turn to the spirit and I say, "Greetings, spirit. We have freed you. What is your name?"
It will, in its initial reaction here, which was not a great deal because we're still in combat time, but might be dropping out soon.
I also, by the way, still have my voice of glory active, so my
Yep.
first impression is
It
improved.
looks at you with some of its flickering digital impressions of faces on these masks that hang on the lower part of its body, scrutinizes you for a moment, and says, "I am the cuckoo of the glass nest.
Oh,
I am Glisham."
yes. Pulled it off.
Okay. Next on the list, going down here, is Emma. So her role to medicine her sister. It's quite a lot of successes, actually.
Nice.
So basically, the thing about the injuries dealt to the sisters, they're all in one place, essentially, from where, Stormbringer ripped. So she pushes her sister in the right position that she doesn't just bleed out everywhere, and is frantic, like ripping stuff off and trying to tourniquet and things. But at this point, unless anyone is literally going to jump straight through that gate and try and fight the two of them, like right now, we'll probably drop out combat rounds if that's okay with people.
I might want to.
I said I'm not.
I'm not.
Right
All right,
this
so
second.
I'm not necessarily looking to. I don't know what Guilty Earth's plan is. So, like,
I think we can.
if Guilty Earth is looking to pop this guy like a jujube and like just eat the guilt, I'm cool with it. If he's like, you're ready for me to make you ascend, that I'm not so on board with. So, here's what I'm gonna do. Thornbreaker looks back at his pack,
No.
winces for a moment, and then leaps through the shadow gate.
Okay, so that would be your action next round because this turned out you're doing
Okay.
stuff. So
I love how Dan was like, "Don't you dare open that fetish," and he does the.
Okay. So Stormbringer, you were heading over. You were going to race
on.
over to.
If I go out to help Emma, will
Yep.
I be able to see Thornbreaker go through the gate?
Yes, you can position yourself still.
God,
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to do it that way because when he goes through the gate, I'm right behind him.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
god.
You lope out. Shift,
not letting him go
reflexive
alone.
shifting. Presumably, you're reflexive
Yeah.
shifting to a form that you can help with trying to patch this poor girl up.
2 successes.
Okay, so you do the whole like shift into person on the way thing, skid over, and trying to give what emergency medical assistance you can to this poor woman, to Emma, trying to patch her up and stop her just dying. And from this is all hurried and fast, but now you're looking at, you think that there are good odds this woman will live. She is going to be in a goddamn fucking hospital bed for a while.
Thank God
But-
for public health care.
You think this woman is probably, you can never be sure about this stuff, but you now at this point you do not think this woman is going to die on this lawn right here. Okay, so that
look at a
was
way to frame Hawkhurst for this, so she can sue the shit out of his estate. No, I'm
Johnny.
not even kidding. Sue the shit out of his estate, because then if
I'm
Emma's a
going
member of the pack, we can pay the taxes.
2 birds.
So,
one
I'm gonna
stone.
spend a turn shifting. I can't reflexively shift like my pack mates can. So I'm shifting up to Hishu in order to go help. Unless he looks like he has it, I was gonna try to teamwork the medicine roll with him. But...
Now it looks like you're there with a blood all over you. It looks like with all these people gathered around, this woman is, there's enough wounds being plugged by helpful hands, kind of thing. Not that, but enough people are lending aid to mean she's not going to die right here now. You think?
All right, I'm gonna look across the shadow to see what my pack mates are up to.
So, all your pack mates are over here at the moment. What you can see on the other side is the twisted, shadowed, warped shadow space. This is almost like a bastion in the shadow, but it's been wrecked. The fortified presence of the Werewolf's lair has Guilty Earth has basically bulldozed into it, just ripping through the flesh, meat, and bones and iron of the building, horribly mutilating the poor spirit that is the house. And has reached through and pulled through, and has hold of a death raging werewolf in one of its hands. So, new round. Flame, I assume you're still helping keep the woman in one piece, or lending help to the first aiding efforts. I'm just doing this because it's the keeping of Dawnbreaker now. Johnny, you can now see the spirit move. It doesn't have wings, so when it moves off the ground, it's more like the threads of void in it sort of flow behind it, like spine tendrils or fins, as the whole thing basically warps its shape and begins to move away and slightly up, leaving the ground, with one of its limbs still gripping Hawkhurst. Thornbreak. You were planning to leap through a
Thornbreaker, still under Shul form, leaps through the shadow gate, sliding into the ground.
So you go through into a mess of slippery, slick shadow gore, dust, wrecked bits of metal. The house is keening around you, it is wailing and shrieking from the damage done to it by Guilty Earth. And the spirit itself, as I said, is moving looks almost like something from the deep sea flowing up with these long tendrils of shadow void behind it at a slight angle. So it's moved well clear of the ground, but it's not going up, it's going sideways away from St. John's back towards the centre of the city. With one of its limbs still, one of the limbs has pulled the raging werewolf tight to it. Werewolf is not trying to rip and tear, but not having an awful lot of luck.
Okay, I'm going to howl to get its attention. It's not an aggressive howl, it's more just requesting the spirit's attention. That's going to be 3, 4, 5...
It's gonna be...
6, 7, 8...
I'll be right back.
9 again. Let me just double check how I do the 9 again here.
It's !NWOD, number of dice, space, 9.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 successes.
Okay, so you howl. And what's the message of your howl? Just like pay attention to me, or something.
Basically, humbly requesting a moment of the spirit's time.
You
Excuse
see
me, sir.
the
Do you have
head
a moment to speak?
twist round. It is showing, one of it's flickering through faces. You see it registers you. It directly is aware you are there, and it just keeps on going. It is keeping on going. It is deliberately ignoring your desire for attention. It's not noticed you. It's just going. It is simply doing its thing anyway. I am going to drop out a combat round now because it's high enough up. It'll be high enough up by its next session. It's out of easy reach. So we're still going to be going on the scene, but we're not in combat rounds now.
All right. So in that case, I'm going to shift down to Dalu form and call out after the spirit. Noble spirit.
I'm going to look at Ag and Emma and be like, hey, you guys got this. I'm going with Thornbreaker. And he's going to dive back through the open hole and come through the shadow gate behind him.
Okay, so you will also see the spirit is just pulsing through the air away. A short distance away as it's going, eventually Hawker ceases death raging and sort of sagged in its grip. The spirit is moving away from you. It is moving. Both of you give me perception checks.
All right, I'm currently in Dalu form, so that's 7.
So you didn't get his
I
attention.
don't feel the need.
I got its
to
attention,
watch
but it
my
didn't
good
stop
dice.
for me. 3 successes on my perception.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to use the good dice, so we'll see what happens.
Can I
2
roll
successes.
perception since I'm across? Peering across?
Yeah, you can because you're looking across. Yeah, you can.
Wits plus composure 5. Do I have? Oh, I have trained observer, so I get 8 again, 9 again.
Nice.
2 successes.
Okay, so it is evident. You will all be able to piece this together, but it's pretty evident. Stormbreaker. Looking across, you see you're on the hill of St. John's here, on the side of it, and it goes down to the centre part of town, Gilcombe, the area where the city is, and the shadowscape, the higgledy-piggledy mess of the shadowscape is there. Looking at where this spirit is going across to to a very obvious structure, which you have not paid an awful lot of attention to in the flesh, because why would you? In shadow, there is a tower rising up where the new tower block is being built in the physical. There is a shadow tower rising there with sort of, you can see the bars of metal and it's wrapped around with spirit flesh and gleaming blisters of glass. And if you were to assume that the spirit is intending to keep on going the direction it's going, it is heading for that tower. On the other side, so Johnny, Harmonious Flame, you have Emma is like sobbing over her sister and clutching her face, going, "Please don't die!" And desperately trying to do anything she can to stop her sister bleeding to death. Here, the prognosis is looking that she will not die, but this woman needs to go to a hospital. You need to get Emma to stop freaking out in order to get her to the hospital.
I think I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
Looming over you now, shambling out, is this weird spider thing of glass and faces that is impassively observing everything going on in a kind of curious, like, I've been out of it for a while. I wonder what these people are doing. Oh, there's a lot of that red stuff everywhere kind of way.
I turn to the spirit, and I'm going to use Closer Than You Think to bust through 2 doors, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help this woman? And I consider a payment for me freeing you.
Okay, give me presence plus persuasion, I guess. I'm taking account you passed through 2 doors, but do give me the roll, please.
Yeah, persuasion is minus manipulation. I'm rolling 1 die, but I'm gonna key in my inspired condition to generate a success out of this, because I still have it from the last session. And what's steadfast do?
You can automatically get a success on something.
Okay, and steadfast automatically generates a success?
Yeah, so you just go, I got a success.
I'm probably gonna end up using that. That being said, I know we have the hunting grounds right going, so I might be able to pull some dice out of that too.
That's empathy, politics, or animal ken, I believe. For
God damn it!
Hey, I get bloody whatever, bloody-handed hunter against Guilty Earth if he tries to keep me from killing Hawkers.
Yeah.
Yes, currently you do. Yeah.
Animal ken, empathy, and politics. God damn it. All right. And just making sure what their conditions do.
Hey, Chris, stupid question. While Pete's looking at that, if
No, okay.
Guilty Earth is trying to kill Hawkhurst himself, or wants to kill Hawkhurst himself, and I attack Guilty Earth because I want our pack to be the ones to do it, does Bloody Handed Hunter still come into effect?
Yes, if
Because he
Guilty
is
Earth is
stopping me from
in the
doing my
way,
goal.
getting
No
you, yeah.
successes. I was not sent down to less than 1, so it's just a flat failure. I use Steadfast to turn into a success.
Okay. Okay, well, let me just pop the point of the beat for this first. Okay, so you make that plea. The spirit looks at you, clatters on its glassy feet. You see the feet end in a mixture of different things, from shoes to talons to wheel-like elements, and threaded through with tendrils of meat and pulsating flesh and threads of glass. And it considers you for a moment, and then you hear, all of you feel, any of you who have phones on you feel them like vibrate, not weirdly, not unusually. There's an odd vibration with phones, and it tilts its head and goes, "Your deal is accepted. The Wound Eaters are on their way for her."
The Wound Eaters?
Doctors.
The ambulance.
Oh. Okay.
Her wounds will be eaten.
Or possibly actual spirits that eat one.
As well as this in payment, I thank you for my release.
I nod.
And this is the spirit of Gleesham, right?
Yep.
Yes. Quick dart over to Stormbringer and Thornbreaker. What you two? You can see the spirit is just flying away over the cityscape. Are you going to pop back through the Shadow Gate, or are you going to run around in the shadow?
Still in dollar form, Thornbreaker turns to Stormbringer and says, "We can't leave a loose end. We need to know whether Guilty Earth intends to kill Hawkhurst or fortify him. We need
And this
to
thing
know
is
what
flying?
happens." Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call out mentally, whatever, to Unconquered Raven to see if there's any way he can help us aid in pursuit. We need to know what happens. I won't let Hawkhurst survive this.
The Unconquered Raven, who is there in the shadow, has come through the rift with you to keep eyes on you. As I am not strong enough to bring down that prey. You must watch for where he lands, find where he lairs, and brings itself to Earth. I cannot bear you up there.
Is Heart and Throat and Creeping Dread still nearby?
They were running around in the shadow, so they can't be far in Twilight. They can't be far away in Twilight.
I'm in Urshul. I dove back through an Urshul expecting a fight because I wasn't watching through the gate.
Yep.
I'm going to let out a howl calling them to me.
Okay, so you howl out in the flesh.
In the flesh
yep.
or in the shadow?
Well, they're in Twilight, so I assume you're doing it.
Gotcha. Okay.
They were running around in Twilight, lapping up essence, and
Gotcha. But when they're in Twilight, they can't
Correct.
see the shadow anymore. They're like us. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna let out a howl.
So you're doing that in the flesh, then?
Yes. What's the dice roll for that?
There won't be a dice roll for this. We'll get to it in a moment. And Thornbreaker, are you hanging around on the shadow by yourself, or are you popping back through?
He's still in the shadow. He says to Unconquered Raven, even if you can't carry us, can you keep eyes on where he lands so that we know where he is?
Yes, I can. You will be alone here if I do.
I'll be right back.
Well, you might be.
You might be.
You
Might be a while.
So
Thornbreaker is basically the
Thornbreaker,
epicenter of a big disturbance event in the shadow, so things are probably going to come looking soon.
right. Thornbreaker isn't made of unyielding confidence. He, as a Caliph, understands fear. Fear is part of his currency. So he is afraid to be in the shadow alone. But his fear is overshadowed by his
Unyielding hatred.
his promise to Jenny that he would free her from this monster. And so he resolves himself. He spares one last glance at his pack. I don't know if he could lock eyes with Harmonious Flame for a moment.
Well, she's in the flesh, so she's not even in the
She
shadow.
can't see him through.
Only if she isn't. She's not currently. She's focusing on stuff in the flesh.
All right, so then she
If she's,
will.
if she's looking in the shadow, she's not in
through
flesh.
I couldn't just stick my head through the gate and howl and then come back.
You could, but then you'll be halfway through a gate, and if at any point it closes, you probably won't like the result.
It's fine. I can cinematically be looking through the
Yes, you can.
barrier.
Yes, you can have that timing if you want. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. If I'm going to be leaving him alone, I'm not going back through.
It's too late. You did it. You had the
He took
idea.
you by himself.
This is
So
fine.
if you
We're
go back through,
leaving.
you would be leaving him alone. Well, you went through, but he's there with the spirit. Now he's telling the spirit to fuck off when you're already gone. He's literally saying he's waiting for you to go, and then he's doing the thing that would make him alone.
You asshole.
And so, all right. So if Harmonious Flame locks eyes with him, he just gives her a solemn nod, and then he races off in the shadow towards the direction that the
And
noble spirit
the
went.
totem takes wing and is overhead of you because he's trying to track her. So back in the shadow, Stormbringer gives out a howl, which echoes across. Good job, the poor woman on the floor is unconscious, because otherwise she'd be probably freaking out from that. You can hear sirens, the ambulances are streaming on their way. The spirit of Glisham is sort of looking around as this werewolf pops out and howls. Shortly after, you see moving through across the landscape by the fierce spirits are coming in response to the howl. They'll be there shortly. But before they get there, the spirit of Glisham, the cuckoo, looks across at, you've come through as well, and it goes, what of the one who bound me?
We're working on it.
His patron has him.
The one who would be Lord.
The guilty earth has him, yes.
Yes, the one who would be Lord. Out of the hedge and the light come slinking the two entities. Heart in throat thunders and wet splashes up the drive. Creeping dread just slinky sort of emerges out of the hedge as a coalescence of darkness. And the two fierce spirits gather by Stormbringer. They eye the Emma cradling her sister, but don't sort of go to see if there's any tasty residence there. They come over to Stormbringer.
Is the shadow gate still there?
Yes.
I'm going to look at them through the gate, tell them, meet me on the other side and jump back through.
There is a moment for the two spirits sort of doing the equivalent of looking at one another, even though Heart and Throat has no eyes. And then they both they pass through. So you're through on the other side and meet the gore and wreckage of the house.
Do I see Thornbreaker tearing ass?
Yes, he's tearing off and the spirit is flaring up. You can see him zooming away.
I'm going to look at the two fierce spirits. We fed you. Help us.
They exchange glances, and Creeping Dread tilts his head and goes, I had hoped you had learned by now. And Heart in Throat says, we are forbidden to do so.
Yep.
They did make an agreement to hide us in the city, and despite the fact that we're in the shadow, it is still the city.
Yep.
The only help, I'm not asking them to help us in terms of hurting Creeping Guilty Earth. I want to know where I want to look at them. Where is he taking Hawkhurst?
Heart in Throat and Creeping Dread again exchange of glances. You realise for a moment that they are not doing a look at one another what the fuck, man. These represent two types of fear, and they are slightly warring over which type of dread you should be feeling at the response. Who says what is the kind of thing they've agreed should be the dramatic note of this information. And Creeping Dread eventually seems to win out in their staring contest. Looks at the direction the spirit is going, to the top of this tower, and it says, it goes to the place that Hawkhurst has engineered for it, that Hawkhurst has created and devised for it, the place that will allow it to tap in fully to the spread and flow of loci and ley lines through this place.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm going to tell him. What it needs a key.
It needed a key, and now it has it.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I'm going to tell them when Thornbreaker and I get to the tower is when they need to hide us from Guilty Earth. We asked them to hide us. That was it.
Yes, Creeping Dread was the one you asked to blind from the Fear Spirits things. Creeping Dread nods, goes, "I will." Yes, the master of the estate asked such of me. If you wish me to perform this service now, then I will. When you are there at the tower,
yeah, our approach cannot be known.
I will take the step after me to shatter the panopticon of its servants. I cannot blind I cannot blind the Magath directly, but I can sever it from its threads that weave its knowledge together into itself.
How long will this last?
Sometime it will need to recreate what I destroy and thread its servants back into that.
So I'm gonna look at the tower and look at him. Can we make it to the tower before it can reconnect these threads?
Yes, because it will need to bind its servants to it once more via them.
Good, do it, and then I turn and take off after
Okay.
Thornbreaker. Cash it in that chip, guys. I hope everyone's okay with that.
Heart in throat. Cool. As you're dashing away, Creeping Dread slinks into the darkness, and Heart in Throat calls out heartily after you. Very brave of you to go without that which you need. I salute your death, and follows away into the shadow.
While running, Stormbreaker is going to do one of those "fuck me" and keep going. So,
Thornbreaker, you are dashing across the Shadow City with this totem overhead. Stormbringer is a short way behind. The rest of the pack in the real. Firstly, ambulance will be there before too long. Johnny and Harmony's Flame. You probably don't want to hang around too long here because the humans will be here going, and Emma is going to have some fucking hard questions to answer, but ultimately she's concerned about the well-being of her sister. Cuckoo, look, stomps both. Goes, I do not wish it to become the Lord.
We need the spirit of
Is
Gleeson.
there any way you can stop it?
Or help us stop it?
Stamp, clatter. Yes. Do you know how to hurt it?
I shake my head. No.
The same way we heard everything else.
It needs the bone. That which calms and scours it. That which corrals and binds it in. Foremost, you need the bones.
But where are they?
The bones of those who make it. The ones to which it is anchored. The loon's vessel. Or
Go on.
Or perhaps, given how steeped in its fundaments he is, the bones of the architect. But they are less certain. The bones of the architect, he cannot. There are things he cannot. The bones of the loons chosen will burn.
Where's the loon's
He will
chosen buried?
rise.
Beneath the tower?
They have hidden that body, those bones. Do you know where they are? Kind of, yes, but
her bones were grasped by those who drink faith and taken to a fountain of it.
St. John's? Like, is there a church here? Like St. John's?
Yes.
Wasn't there a cathedral that we went into, or it was an old abbey?
There's a church. So there's several things. There's the church itself, the central church in Gilcombe, which is just Gilla Church. There is up in St. John's. There is St. John's Church. It's a much smaller church, and you are right. The building you went into previously used to be the abbey, which St. Witter's bones were apparently stored at. But obviously that was all knocked down to build new stuff. So what happened to the bones there? according to Cuckoo, the best you can make from its words are they would be presumably in one of the other two churches.
I'm hinging on St. John's because he would want to keep Guilty Earth's potential being close by in order to keep an eye out for it in terms of wards or whatever.
Could you help us get there fast?
It looks slightly like,
I
are
presume
you
you're.
a rider of the steel horses?
Can we drive a
Motorcycles?
car? He's a. No, but we know someone who
No,
can.
definitely sounds. Yeah, because
No
that's
one
what
can
she
drive
wants to
there.
do is race a fucking ambulance.
Basically, it looks at in the drive where Hawkhurst's nice car is, and like the door locks pop open.
All right.
If you wish to go faster than the fleetness of your feet, a beast of steel will serve.
All right. I
You
hop
must
in.
hold its reins.
Can you help me out with
Do
this? I
either
don't really know.
Harmonious Flame or Johnny have any drive dots?
No, but if I have enough experience, I will buy a point of drive right now.
I don't know. Do you?
Well, we had 19 at the end of last session.
Yeah, that you only get to cash in when at the cash in point, unfortunately. So basically, the spirit was just essentially ordered the car to hotwire itself for you, but you do need to drive the fucking thing. The Cuckoo looks. It keeps on
Our turn to Emma. Does she know how to drive?
She is not driving you fucking anywhere. Her sister is nearly in pieces on the floor. She is cradling her and desperately trying to keep her alive. Like
And it totally wasn't Stormbringer's fault.
You know full well this is a bad time to say, by the way, can you drive us somewhere? The spirit looks at you as you are clambering to the car, frowning some of its digitized, expressed faces. And you see they must be like local people's faces. And it frowns, looks at you and goes, I do not wish it to become Lord or anything else. Thank you for freeing me. Who are you?
Johnny
Yeah,
Galloway.
I'm Storm.
My great aunt was the old wolf who used to live in this territory. Great aunt, sorry.
It classes your response in Harmonious Flames, rattling on its feet. And then you are getting the car in gear and trying to get it to go. So, this is a Dex or Wits plus drive roll with the unskill penalty, as you are trying to book it through St. John's as quick as you can to St. John's Church.
I have 2 dice with the unskilled penalty. How much do you have?
I have 2 dice with the unskilled penalty. Can we teamwork this?
Teamwork!
Watch out!
No.
Aw.
I will allow it. Actually, for this, I will allow it because one of you can be like, no, do that or whatever. I will allow some backseat driving.
Nice.
So, who's teamworking? Who's doing teamwork? Who's doing minimal?
bonuses. Don't forget this.
Yes, that's true. You get a +1 die to whoever's doing teamwork adds 1 die to their roll because of the pack dynamics.
Ag, do you have any willpower left?
Do you?
I don't know if I can cash in on my blood, my bone, the second time while I was fucking around with him by myself.
No, you'd already cashed in on that, unfortunately.
Yeah, so then no, I'm out.
So one of you roll 3 dice. The next person rolls 2 plus successes from the first roll dice.
You roll first. I'm driving.
All right.
To be fair, Harmony's Flame is more used to the cars in this country in general, like which
Why
side of the road you're
American?
supposed to be on.
3. Oh, 1 success. So you get a bonus out of me.
Get 1 die. So you are rolling 3 dice.
No successes.
No successes. Okay, so you tear out the place, try to get away as well before the fucking ambulance turns up. Careen off down the street. I will allow you, if you want, to dramatic fail to crash into the ambulance, thus causing suffer time and die.
No.
No? Okay. You careen off. You basically get partway down the street and you just end up plotting the car into one of the parked cars. It's just dire.
All right, kid.
2 werewolves in a car, and you get it halfway down the street, and you smash it up. Now, fortunately, you're werewolves, so you get a bunch of bashing damage from the impact, and the wheels blow. And at least it's this fucker's car; it's not yours, right? And it's some other guy's car, but they're not in it. So you roll out somewhat like basically healing the bashing damage from your impromptu crash, and presumably Are you turning to a different form to then book it across to the
Yeah.
yeah?
I
Rule
think we're
number
gonna run as
one:
wolves this time, not as
cardio.
worship, because that was quite enough lunacy for one city.
So as wolves, you book it across the few streets to St. John's. Now, St. John's is a lovely old church. It is a small one. It's not a very big church, and it's one of those ones that dates back to the Norman era, though it's been rebuilt later. There is an old menhir standing in a Bronze Age menhir standing in the churchyard. The churchyard is one of those lovely graveyards with beautiful flowers this time of spring, as well as very well tended graves. This old Bronze Age menhir carved then later with Christian symbols onto it, and the church. It's not a time of day or anything where there are going to be many people here. The church is open, but the vicar or whoever tends to it isn't here, and there's no one like there. There's a couple of people enjoying the weather inside, but you can switch up to being human and run in.
What do you think they'd happen inside, like a crypt?
Yeah.
What's that thing you mentioned, Chris? Like, what's it look like?
The bronze menhir. So it was an old Bronze Age standing stone that then in later era was carved with Christian symbols.
Mm-hmm.
They usually have the bones of saints on display somewhere, either right by the altar or if there's like an alcove or something.
All right, let's head
I
inside.
quickly checked on the internet on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you run in and you start looking around for obvious stuff. Obviously, there's an altar. There's some. After a quick check, you rapidly find there's some small boxes with things. There's a area like little chain around it and a little plaque saying, and in this box are said to be some of the relics of St. Witter.
I grab said box. I tear into it and look for bones.
Yeah, you wrench it and it's locked. You're werewolves, that doesn't take long for you to rip away at it. You wrench it open, and inside are some human just like about 3 fragments of bone laid out, and they're obviously very old bone in a plush kind of velvet kind of padding, and you rip it open. You're like, okay, 3 bits of human bone.
Small?
Sorry?
Small bone.
Yeah, small chunks of fragments of bone.
We have faces covered. Okay, let's go.
You could have faces covered if you wanted. As you are there going, right, let's scoop these out. A voice speaks. It is a rustling voice. It is both wet and earthy and the rustling of leaves. Something speaks. It says, "Thieves come seeking, but you won't find it." In twilight, behind you, is a figure like a woman made of greenery, threshed up and then budding brightly into yellow, a cascade of yellow flowers.
Greetings, spirit.
You're here for her, thieves, but you won't find it.
Are these not hers? And I gesture at the bones.
Your violation of the bounds here is quick and hurried. You will not find it.
Sorry, the guilty earth is about to become lord.
And we wish to stop it.
You are thieves. You will not find it.
Oh shit! We have to be faithful. I think that's where it's getting at. All right, I'm gonna lean into some occult here. Can I lean into some occult here?
You can try, I guess. What are you trying to go for here?
Drink.
No, like I'm doing a prayer to whatever to like try to find the bones.
I'd just like to point out that this is amusing that Pete the atheist is praying.
Yo, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not saying it, but so would that be like a manipulation, presence type role? Since
no roll. You're just trying to pray.
Yeah.
The spirit observes you, looking with something like an alien expression of amusement on its face as you like do a frantic, oh God, you are so big.
Yes.
You're very kind to us and nice. And it just looks at you like in like, what the fuck are you doing? Away, it goes, thieves will not find it.
I was hoping the faithful could find it.
Are you saying that?
Yeah.
You do not know where it is. Drinking of that well will not tell you.
Drink of the well.
Do I have to drink the holy water?
No,
No,
you're
wait.
taking it literally.
Yeah, I am. I'm not good at spirit things here. I'm an Haraka. I'm good at hiding and stabbing things from the dark. This is not one of those two things.
Okay, you're right. We are thieves. Just put it back. Put it back.
Are you going to put the bones back?
Yes. Nudge, Johnny. Just put it back.
Fine.
The spirit nods in satisfaction. That will save you from unfortunate failure with whatever you sought the bones for. Plunge those into anything, and it will not so much as quiver.
I bow to the spirit. Now, could you please point us to the direction of the real bones?
I could. What is your offer? What will you do?
Stop guilty Earth from lording over this place.
I'm not hearing anything coming through.
I
Sorry.
have no essence to offer for you at the moment, but I will perform a task that will please you in the future.
Do you know what I am?
I hope you will tell me.
But you offer that deal without knowing that you will perform a task that will please me in the future.
Oh god.
Yes.
Oh god.
Good. Then your deal is accepted.
Is it a spirit of
for the
blind faith?
future, me.
Listen, consequences are for future us's, and future us's are
Who may not
Oh.
survive long enough to know.
The plant spirit gestures for you to follow and drifts out of the church.
I follow it.
It's under the stupid thing like I thought initially.
Drifts the stone, the menhir, and around the bottom menhir there are these plants growing that look quite a lot like whatever she's made of.
Mhm.
And gestures and goes, in return for your service, you may seek what the fragment of Saint Wita that is here.
I turn to like Urshul or Urhan and
Start
it out.
digging.
Yeah.
We used to, obviously you move to a position where the people in the couple of people sitting graveyard can't see you, shift, and then when they see a dog, they're like, "What the hell?" and like leave the graveyard in a kind of "what should we do" kind of way. There's a dog digging up stuff in the graveyard with a woman. You dig in, and you don't have to dig far because the ground itself, the roots twist and yield and push up a dirty, mouldering shard of human bone.
I motion to Ag like to take it or something, and
Yeah, I take it.
and
You
I
take it. Spirit sees the pact sealed by you taking it with great satisfaction.
I turn to it again and I bow to it and say, "We must now perform this urgent task, but once we're done and if we survive, I will come back here and do the task that pleases you.
Good.
Could you please give me your name?"
I am the flower's caress. I am the slave of Saint John. I am the one who grows. If you do not do as you say, I will take from you your ability for your flesh to knit and heal.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Just Ag though,
understand.
right? Not the rest of us.
Yeah, just Ag.
Okay,
Just
good. 'Cause
Ag.
I need to wait for this to happen until after I heal off the Ag, and then I'll worry about it.
I think he just means our supernatural healing, not our regular healing, I would hope.
Who knows?
Oh,
You have
this
just made a
motherfucker can
pact
take
with a spirit of a plant associated with folk healing. So, who
I
knows
don't
what it'll
suppose
do?
I suppose we don't sense a locust nearby, Chris.
No.
Associated with folk healing?
Yep, St. John's wort. It's a plant associated with folk medicine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
I've heard of St. John's wort.
So now we got to cross over. The Shadow Gateway's gone. I know that there's a
Depends on what cross.
locust. What?
There is a locust. There is/was a locust in the house
Yes.
where the guild locust is. Now, how much is left? Given you wrecked its centerpiece. It should still be there. Like the physical, the gateway should be there, but it will eventually fade. The point of crossing over, because although you've trashed the Locust's core, it won't have just snap gone.
It is also feasible there might be a crossing point at the tower if it's a focus of ley lines and stuff.
That's also possible. So you've got to try and figure out, do you want to go to the crossing over point you know is in the house that will now have an ambulance crew outside of it at the very least, if not the police turning up soon?
Or I wish we could make a deal with the Spirit of Gleesham
We
to
lost
like
Chris.
port us.
Oh, sorry, we had a blip there, where you guys just cut. So you have to choose if you're going to go to the Locust in the house, where there will be an ambulance crew, the police might be there already, or if you go to the tower, where there might be a Locust, but it's also a construction site, and there shouldn't be crawling with police and the like, at least.
Ag, how you want to do it?
I would say tower.
I'm gonna be with you on that.
Okay,
Coward.
so back in the shadow, Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, you are racing across the shadow itself. The city, the something weird is happening in the shadow, and the shadow is weird. Anyway, firstly, the wind is whipping up strangely in like a tumult. Not enough to throw you or toss you around, but the air is stirring. The town is also starting to convulse. Like some of the neighbouring streets, you see shifts and like spasms in the buildings, at the spirits of the buildings. And in part of this is you can tell where you ran through the flesh while inertial, because from there, wails and cries of alarm and dismay from the spirits are still echoing. Like the shadow is reacting to the massive amount of resonance you've just poured in through there from your run of terror.
Oh,
We lost.
I just told him.
Oh, here we go. All right, he's back.
oh my goodness.
There you are.
Wake now.
Yeah. So the wake of terror is where we left off.
Terror. Elsewhere in the town, however, something else is going on.
Oh god.
The tower is starting to light up with the glass in the shadow of the tower is starting to pulsate and shine, and in lines across away from it, all the glass in the shadow, the blisters and flesh and pains in the shadow that are in lines running away from it, all the glass in the shadow is starting to shine and pulsate as well. And you can see one of those threads of light bouncing away across the townscape and out towards the distant shadowscape of the estate.
No!
It's also pulsing in around the place as well. And the spirit landscape around this is starting to shiver and convulse. Spirits are literally running around in panicked mimicry of humans. Like, they're not really terrified, but the spirits are weird, they're spasming, juddering, running around erratically. In a way, this is beneficial, because you're run across the city while spirits are getting in the way. They are not trying to eat you, for example, for crossing into their territory. They are just running around in confusion. You thrash across the city through Gilcombe to the heart of Gilcombe district, where this tower is rising. It is surrounded by essentially ditches and earthworks chaotically thrown up from the construction work around it, and then the literal bones of steel and metal rise up in the tower itself. As you're approaching, you see there are spirits of fear in the area, with masks, with these strange masks imprinted into their flesh. A number of them are patrolling around the base of this tower. However, as you are approaching, there is the sound of a thunderous crack echoes across the town from the direction of the building that was built where the abbey was, the building where you saw that thing through reality, where you first met the guilty earth. There is a resounding shattering noise from there. And as that happens, while around the eyes of the masks of the spirits, you see there's like a crack, an interlacing. The masks do not shatter, but something has severed. The fear spirits stumble around in alarm. They are not individually blind, but whatever connections have been binding their awareness to the guilty earth appear to have just been severed or damaged. And in the wake of that, While compared to the other spirits in the town, the fear spirits were still orderly and obedient. Now they are gripped by the same confusion as the other spirits in English. And so what would potentially have been patrolling guards in your way have now become these confused spirits just going hither and thither. The fear spirits are more energized because there's so much fear kicking around. In fact, several of them just leave their guard post and race off to where you terrorized people to drink down resonance. But they are caught in the same chaos.
I'd just like to point out, Dan, that I think I also made it safer for Ag and Pete to come join us, because now he doesn't know we have the bones. Because if there were fear spirits watching that church, they're blind too.
You are at the base of this tower. Your plan is simply to... You can see little while ago, the spirit landed atop it. And that is where the pulse of the light of this glass shining is intensifying to a point. Presumably, are you going to climb up the tower by yourself now, or are you planning to wait for your pack mates?
I would say
we don't know they're coming.
We're going to start climbing. We don't know what's coming.
Can we?
I didn't tell either of them to come. The last thing I said to either of them was to make sure Emma's sister would survive.
Right.
Which we did.
So yeah.
I don't know, but we don't know that.
So they are going to reach the base of the tower, and Thornbreaker's going to take Dalu form to climb.
Well, so Dan, I'm actually I was thinking about it. I'm probably a decent bit behind you.
Not far behind, but a little
not
bit.
That far.
I took a few turns to stop and talk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
All right, so Dan, are you going to wait for me to catch up?
Yes, so he'll pause for a beat for you to catch up, and so then he's taken Dalu form to start climbing. He turns to you and he goes, "So this is it.
Us against the world." I'm going to shift into. I'm going to do a. So we're climbing the outside of the tower. Is your plan, Dan?
No, inside. You'll go inside the tower and climb up. There's enough infrastructure here impressed through. You can physically climb up. It's weird, organic impressions of the tower itself, but there are stairs.
Why wouldn't we go up to Urshul and just blitz upstairs?
I didn't realize we could do the stairs. I thought we were going to have to. I thought it was like a patchwork gridiron that we were going to have to actually scale.
Right, that's what I thought we were going.
There are parts of it you might have to do that in. It is partly impressed in this side in the shadow. So and it's not complete. So you can start off up the stairs. There are likely to be bits where it is more of a problem, and you'll have to sort of tackle that as you're going.
I think both of our harmonies are low enough that we can shift, instinctively, reflexively shift. So we'll take whatever form will move us up there faster.
Okay, then you'll be flicking between Dalu and Urshul as you encounter obstacles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are now ascending the tower. Harmonious Flame and Johnny, what is your plan to get to the tower now?
To wolf through the city, Flame?
Just fucking run. Okay, so you'll be a bit behind the others, but slow once they get there. Okay, so I'm going to call a short break here to grab a drink and then buy breaks.
Can I call out the spirit of Galicium?
Not now. You've gone well away from where it was.
Yeah, my thought was that it was the one that was helping him do that city warp thing, and we could use that to our advantage. But
yeah, it was in the fetish. It was making his gift facet of the city carved into his flesh reflective rather than instant. That was what he bound it to do.
Well, I had to blow it up, so it worked.
Okay, so you go wolfing across the city.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the city, as you cross it in the flesh, there are sirens wailing. You see there's an ambulance that's parked up at the Hawkhurst house. There's obviously stuff in the city going on, and you're pelting past it as fast as you can again. See more people obviously not getting hit by lunacy, but they're going, what the fuck, there's two large dogs go pounding through the town.
Wait, are we doing this wolf or near wolf? Because if we're doing it wolf, we're not causing lunacy. We're just dogs.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be causing lunacy.
Yeah.
If you're doing a wolf form.
Well, definitely. I think it's enough lunacy.
Going to call a short break there for bio breaks, grabbing drinks and things, and then we'll come back to the pack in the tower.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so for all of you watching, I'm going to throw on the Onyx Path title cards for some of the other games. Understand that the dates and everything are completely wrong because I have not had a chance to update them, but we just want to showcase what some of our fellow streamers have been working on just to make you guys familiar with some of the offerings that they do periodically have. So again, ignore the dates and times, those aren't necessarily accurate, but it's just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that Onyx Path streams since they have been so kind as to host us so often. So I will put that up and we will see you guys in a couple minutes. All right, we are back.
We're in
Hello once
danger.
again. So, the pack are currently split in two, but converging rapidly. In the flesh, Harmonious Flame and Johnny run through the streets of Gleesham as wolves, frightening shoppers, people in the streets, although already there's chaos and confusion. You know, you can hear the wail of sirens, the police and ambulances are rocketing around the place. You are running as fast as you can, thundering down the hill from St. John's towards the rising tower that, indeed, Hawk has been working on building for some time, the first proper tower block, sort of tower building in Gleesham. It is a work site, but the tower is mostly done. And you are trying to get there as quickly as you can. In the meantime, in the flesh, the innards of the tower are very much in the shadow. The innards of the tower are very much innards for Stormbringer and Thornbreaker. Yes, much of it is glass. In fact, too much of it is glass. Obviously, the outside has a lot of glass anyway, but a lot of this building is glass, but tumorous, cankerous glass, threads in organic patterns, as well as panes and light casings. The bones of it are literally bones. Steel and concrete form as much organic shapes as they do mundane ones. There are also entirely mundane sections of it. Seem almost strange by comparison to the fleshy nature of the spirit of much of it. Most inform some of the fixings and the like. But the tower itself, the spirit appears to be dormant, but the tower is an unsettling experience to climb up. You have to move sometimes between your forms. When there are rib-like steps hammer up between concrete walls, you are inertial, running as fast as you can. But at times, the gaps in the skin wrapped around the glassy skin wrapped around the outside of the tower, there are gaps and there are floors that are just barely there. You can see imprints in places just hanging there, separated from everything else. So there are times where you have to turn to Dalu to scrabble and climb as best you can. In the flesh, your packmates won't have that problem, but they are probably don't know they're coming and they're well behind you anyway. It's strange being inside here because the glass is lighting up with lambent glow, and as you rise above the shadow of the town, and it is daylight, I would point out, of Gleesham, you can see striations of light pulsing across these threads, these lines, bouncing out to energy points or loci across the landscape, and including, as you can see from up here, including the glass locust in the estate, rolling across the broken, feuding fiefs of the countryside spirits there's that line of glowing light as essence is pulled in and pulsing it upwards. Yeah, about that daytime thing.
Uh-oh.
You are climbing.
Oh,
through
fuck.
one of the sections that is less wrapped by glassy skin, open to the air, and the wind is blowing through in chaos and confusion as essence is stirring in strange eddies from this crawling power.
Oh, shit.
When, with a thump and the charring smell of spiritual matter burning, something comes in to the side of the building and it sort of catches itself and peers in. The Hellion, the sun spirit, is somewhere between man and hawk in appearance. It is blazing with fire and light and charred bone. It's a little taller than a man, but the wingspan is significant as it pulls these wings of fire and light around it. And it leans in, sort of taking a huff in the air. It breathes in the air, smokes and smoulders as it's drawn in. You have a couple of choices how you want to tackle this. Are you going to try and sneak past the Hellion, or are you going to just go sort of head on and just not even try and hide from it?
I'm gonna try to hide from it.
Oh, fine. I'll try to hide.
X plus stealth rolls, please.
God.
I don't have the ability to do this.
If anyone
Which
can
one are we
sweet talk Hellion, it's Thornbreaker.
I don't share your confidence.
Which form are we in right now, Chris or Shul?
Dalu, because it's one of the bits where you're having to climb more.
Oh, Dalu also? God. Ah! Why? Okay.
This is awful.
Are there
Shit!
are there shadows that I can
Not
move in?
anymore.
Nothing significant. You are inside a glowing building.
He hides in his own shadow, Chris.
I'm gonna willpower. That'll give me 7.
Okay.
Hold on. 3 successes.
Okay. Stormbringer.
I got 3 also, I said.
Oh, we got 3. Okay, that's quite decent. You start to make your way
This
up.
one I'm trusting the dice, not the roller.
Yeah, that's good. You start to make your way up. The Hellion is aware that somewhere is here. That someone is here. The way it is drawing in these smoking streams of breath, as if it is tasting like things that are catching fire upon its beaked tongue, tongue in its beak. It tastes that something is here, but it hasn't spotted you from the way you're hiding within the tower's innards. It hasn't seen you, so it doesn't know. It doesn't know who you are or where you are, but it is sort of alert. The thing sort of looks around, and bellows in a voice that is like a furnace of flame, deeper and stronger even than the size of its frame, and goes, "Who is here beneath my lord's gaze? Who dances beneath his vision? Who blasphemes against the sun's dominance?" Are you going to basically keep it, or are you going to come out and face its challenge?
No, I'm gonna fuck right out of there.
Yeah, I threw a GIF in the group chat for everybody. This is Stormbringer and Thornbreaker in real time with the Hellion behind them.
Unfortunately, it's taking ages to load for me because my internet isn't quite working.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at that.
Is this is the Stonebreaker not accepting a challenge that he's not willing to?
Well, I think Stormbringer knows he has.
Here's how Stormbringer is justifying this in his mind. If he's got any chance with Saf, he can't go fighting a Hellion just yet.
Fair play. It wouldn't look good if you got beaten up by one as well, would it?
Exactly.
It sort of, as you guys that you're trying to creep through the tower, keep moving without being spotted from this thing's gaze as you move between fragments of floor and walls, try and hide. There's the impression of something like a desk you're carrying under for a moment. It looks across its literally blazing gaze, lighting up where it's looking. You can't quite keeping away out of this vision. Looks, casts its gaze around, and then says, with that same blazing voice, says, "Who's afeared?"
Dum, dum.
Is it Sally? Is it Samantha?
You're pretty sure it's not, because whoever is doing that on your mirror is a lambent moon-like glow.
Wait a minute.
What's Thornbreaker's response to that?
While climbing, Thornbreaker stops and literally looks like, "What?" But then remembers it's a Hellion and he fucks right out of there.
Oh god.
It gives a final hissing, crackling snarl of frightened rat scurrying, and then kicks away from the side of the building with a beat of its wings and away arcing around again. But at least it's moved away from where you are. You can't see if it's moving to other parts of the tower, so you're able to keep moving up again. Progress is slower than you might like, but you are getting to the upper portions of the tower. Now, up above, you can hear the thump and rumble of the void Magath up there. The occasional noise, I'm not going to call it a scream or a cry. It is a noise coming from, you think, Hawkhurst's throat. It's a noise you are surprised someone or made of meat can necessarily make. But what is your plan for getting up there? Because you're going to be in the upper floors very shortly beneath it, to wherever the spirit is. Are you just going to sort of burst out and go, "Ha ha! It is we, the wolves." Or are you going to get up there and try and watch what's going on?
At first, we're going to watch because we don't know that he's using Hawkhurst as a key. The last thing we left off as is, I don't know if he's taking him to eat him. I don't know if he's taking him to make him more powerful. Yes. So we have to know what's happening here. Our packmates know, but Ag can't neener us with her brain because she doesn't have any essence to use. And we don't know. So we're going to watch. We're going to try to see what's happening first.
You move up.
This sounds like a good plan.
You come into an area of the floor which is mostly sealed behind the glassy skin, and there's a couple of masked fear spirits there with, again, cracks radiating around the eyes of their lamp, the eyes holes for their lamp eyes. They both hiss at you, but they don't move to engage or stop you. They're mostly they look like they're trying to climb down out of the tower. In fact, they rather want to go the opposite way of where you're going. But there would have been more spirits here, but they are currently disconnected for whatever creeping dread has done. And then you are in the place below, and you're climbing up to basically look out to the top of the tower. Unfolds almost like a flower in terms of these massive chunks of rebar and girder that haven't quite formed in to be the top of the tower in a reflection of reality. Instead, it's like an unfolding bud of spirit flesh, concrete, cables that pulse like nerves and things. So you're able to peer out. Give me perception checks, both of you.
Can we be in Urshul here, or do we still
You can be
need to
in
make
whatever
our-
form you want at this point, because
Okay.
they are fully coming up for us relatively intact.
Cool. So then I will be in. You know what? Since we're watching, I'm actually going to take Urhan because we need to be low profile, super perceptive. So I'm going to get 9 dice then.
That's a good idea. I'm going to do the same thing.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
Hold on. I get one more. I get one reroll on this. 5.
Nice.
That's a 5 out of me.
Chris says
I love-
nice. Also, he's disconnected.
Yeah, sorry, again, the blip again. Right, let me.
I
So
love my
nice for
werewolf
5
dice.
successes. Let me just pop that up. That's a lot more beats. Okay, so
Just
you
so
are
y'all know, this is the old school werewolf die that they put out
Nice.
many years ago.
nice.
And these are what keep rolling well for me.
Is that like
Yeah. You look out. So for 5, so Thornbreaker gets some stuff, but Stormbringer gets lots. So firstly, the obvious thing is you sense that you have entered the area of effect of a locus. There is a locus up here. You are looking out or peeking out onto the open area of this. You are looking out to the open area of this sort of top nest-like structure in the top of glass and cabling and wire and girders. The center of the locus is clearly in the core here, is warping and distorting with the amount of resonance pouring into it along the carefully arranged the occult geometries that are channeling into it, the areas that you're warping. The guilty earth is perched up here, reaching down. It has got Hawkhurst. It's no longer holding him like it was, but it has, with tendrils of void, grappling him essentially, just holding him to place near this central pulsation. He is looking confused and dazed. He's sort of struggling, but not terribly effectively because he's like going. Also because he's having massive amounts of essence channeled through him. You can see the resonance in this place is being pumped into him, and you can see his skin starting to crack and turn glassy in places. And then out of him, essence is pouring into the Magath, just drawing it into itself. The spirit is sort of poised up there, and it is crooning things in first tongue. Some of what it is saying is a warped, distorted first version of first tongue you can't understand. It is the language of the void, the warped language of void spirits. Other things it is saying are in first tongue you understand. Now, these things are intermingling, intermixing, not just on the level of it making a kind of slightly gabbly noise of using 2 languages, but rather the symbolism of what it's doing is it's folding through what's happening into its multiple natures as a Magath, especially void. Specifically, it says to him and through him, I will become this as well. I will become more and manifold. This place will become me. I will become it. Further, I shall root myself. No more bleeding. No more emptiness. And it is essentially pulling energy out of the matrix. In fact, it will say, your nature is that of a crucible. You were built. You were designed to transform this. You transform it now for me. You are a crucible for me. Your guilt is my anchor. It makes you me, and I you. Through that, we take this and make this me. And energy is sort of crackling and discharging around the place as well. The Hellion, you can see, is now is arcing around above the place. It does not look hugely entertained by what's going on, but is not acting to interfere, partly because it's probably not as high rank as the Guilty Earth. So that's your position. You're currently watching and observing this sort of in stealth.
Chris, can you remind me what the significance of Who's Afeared is in terms of its relationship to Gleesham?
It is the motto of Dorset. It's the county motto.
Hey Dan, what do you think the possibility is that if we go after this Guilty Earth, that the Hellion may just help us?
I don't think it will unless it looks like we have the upper hand. So we've
Because
got to
the
make sure
spirit
we
of
get the upper
Gleesham,
hand.
getting the spirit of Gleesham back in play, means that it gets to retain the spirit it knows, and one would assume, because a lot of spirits around here wanted the spirit of Gleesham found, that you know what I mean?
I don't know. It's a lot of assumptions. My thinking.
Hellions are assholes, as far as werewolves are concerned. It is less concerned with earthly matters and more with being a giant flaming asshole.
However, you might be able to play it up in that you are doing something for Helios's favorite sister.
Hellion doesn't really like werewolves, so I think the best you can expect is it not attacking you.
Yeah. Kill
All
us
right,
later.
so
Help us fight it.
hold on. So Hawkhurst, how is he secured to whatever it is he's secured to?
It is holding him with tendrils of shadow, of void.
Okay.
It's literally just dangling him in place.
Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna say, should Egg make him death rage when we get up there again, just to try to delay it?
Been already holding him while he was death raging, and it
that won't
didn't
make a
seem to be
difference.
doing anything.
And I don't think I can win a grapple with Guilty Earth to try to wrench him free.
One thing to note is currently Guilty Earth does not look like he looked when you saw him. When you met him in the basement, he had several turns beforehand. He boosted all his stats, and then he turned up. Here, he hasn't done that currently, which is not to say that you should attack him to you, because he will probably boost that, but that currently he looked less sort of enormous and less bulked and less horrific because he hasn't churned essence into his own resonance, his own being, basically.
Yep.
So, putting the pieces together of what Guilty Earth is doing here. Thornbreaker's going to shift down to Dalu form and whisper to Stormbringer, "We have got to get Hawkhurst out of his hands." Did we lose?
No, he's there.
No, I'm here.
He's just cast in darkness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ominous there.
All right.
I can try.
Is it something
Have a
we
plan?
can? Is it something we can work together to try to pry him out of the spirit's hands?
I mean, it depends what you're planning to actually do.
I mean, so step one is trying to break this connection, whatever he's using to pump essence into him, to buy time. And, I mean, ideally, we want to kill this guy. Ideally.
How much, Dan? How much did you and I talk about your meeting with what's his face? Because I know you and I had a couple of out of game conversations that we were going to kind of have in game, but not televised because they would have been boring.
My meeting with who?
What's his face? He gave you the silver shank.
Linebreaker?
Linebreaker.
Yeah.
I haven't really spoken about it.
Part of the
So
noble.
I wouldn't know you got anything from him even
No.
if you didn't tell me what it was.
No.
Okay.
This is bad.
We can kill him. He's defenseless. A dead conduit can't be helpful.
I'm just worried if they're connected that the spirit will somehow be able to heal him. by pumping all this essence into him.
One thing to consider is the nature of the spirit. It is currently guilt and void. It is attempting to add glass to its nature. None of those are massively conducive to healing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I wish Cinders and Illumination were still around. That fucker might be able to help us with the glass aspect.
I
Yes,
understand
right.
right if it's trying to
I
bring
had to go
off the
kill
void,
him.
replace it with glass. From what it
You
did?
don't understand anything there, but
Yeah.
that is as
Chris just got out.
We lost. I think we lost Ag as well.
No.
Oh, sorry, I went a jolt again. Sorry about this. This is a real problem. Basically, it is doing something. Is it attempting to replace void with glass? Is it simply attempting to add glass so it is easier for it to feed, without having, so it has fewer problems feeding to its void nature? Is it doing something else? Your best guess.
Okay.
If only we had a way to kill him quickly.
It's on its way.
Well,
We don't know that.
What you're carrying is the spirit's bane rather than his bane.
right.
Well, which would be silver.
Do you want to just take a chance? It could be a potentially fatal mistake.
Oh my! You know what this reminds me of? Aim for the bushes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Are you trying to just leap off the building?
No, but this is the equivalent of that. Oh my god.
At the end of the day, I've only got a
Something-
few months left anyway.
Oh shit.
We kill him. Spirit of Gleesham takes its place as the Lord. Or resumes its place as the Lord. We can only hope that it can do something about Guilty Earth. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as Hawkhurst is dead, doesn't matter if I don't walk away.
Well, it was an honor fighting beside you, Stormbringer. Thornbreaker's going to...
I'm gonna look at Thornbreaker before he can shift, and he's gonna say, "Brother, the honor was all mine." Drop of a hat, Garu diving after Hawker. He's gonna just try and rip Hawker's throat out. He's going right for the kill.
Okay.
There is no question about what he's doing.
Yep. You get to open up with the surprise attack.
Oh,
Hawkhurst currently has no defense.
Dan, we should both roll initiative just to see.
You should, but we'll
who
roll
goes
that.
first
We'll roll that
between us.
after. You get to make your surprise attack first because you are going off.
Well, to see between the two of us, because I had a feeling he was doing the exact same thing. Yes, Dan?
He'll let you go in first.
Okay, cool.
Let him go.
Oh,
Let him get minced up
sweet
first.
baby Jesus. Let's do this.
Oh my god.
Me.
This is.
I've got.
Sorry, we have another blip here.
I'm activating primal strength, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, I missed a bit of stuff there because we had a blip here. Keith has just vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's having connectivity issues.
We're all
also.
having internet issues in this climactic scene.
I know. All right, yeah. So I spent a point of essence. I'm activating primal strength for this.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Hopefully
Feedback.
you guys get there so we can deal with Guilty Earth, but we're gonna try to take out Hawkhurst if we can.
Unfortunately-
Thornbreaker is taking a gamble that maybe this whole fuckery with people dying in his place won't work while he's in the shadow.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we have to wait for Stormbringer to return to us now,
I see
as he
that.
appears to have had a phone collapse.
There he is.
Here we go.
Oh, do we have a...
Alright, cool, I'm back.
Oh!
back.
Oromai in chat said, keeps rolling his new character.
Yeah, right? I might as well. 7 for that.
Okay.
plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for that.
Aren't you rolling like 19 dice or something ridiculous at 8 again?
Is there anything I'm forgetting?
I hope he gets 20 exploding successes and just swipes his head right off his shoulders. Just bam!
I'm wondering if there's anything else I'm forgetting.
Just spikes him like a volleyball. Whack!
Thanks for the setup, Guilty Earth.
Fist bumps Guilty Earth on the way down.
Boom, bitch. Just for the record, for the people, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna throw 3 more dice into this massive pool already. Because
if there's ever a time we need to succeed,
if there's ever
now.
a time to go big or go home, this is the spot. And Chris's absolutely zero expression is actually bothering me a little bit because I feel like there's something I don't know that's about to happen.
Oh, God.
I don't know what you mean.
It's either like, great, you rip his head off, and now you're stuck in his place. Okay, so for the sake of the audience here, we're going to tally up my massive dice pool for this one. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 21 dice, ladies and gentlemen. 21 dice
with a tasty 8 again.
We'll tasty 8 again.
With a tasty 8 again. Let's do it!
Ooh, that is yes. Yes.
We keep on dropping for a brief period, so I do apologise for me and I keep having these little judders, but we are back again. I heard 21 dice with 8 again, basically.
And then there was a lot of yeses.
Yes, there's a ooh yes. Keith rolled an ooh yes.
There was a dice-gasm that occurred.
On the initial roll, I have 10 successes already.
Okay.
Nag is just like she's like Buddy Christ over there.
Harmonious flame approved. For the record, they're 8 again, which means all of them explode.
What was that?
Total damage, including the +2 bite, 18. If
that
there
is
was ever a way
enough.
to literally rip
That is just enough.
That is literally just enough to insta-box him out fully with Ag.
Yes!
So for
You're in Urshel?
No, I think he went Garu for this.
He went
I
Garu.
launched into Garu.
Okay, yep.
For flavor, he's going to do. Have you ever seen? I forget which character it is in Mortal Kombat. He literally jumps up and almost like Spider grabs him with both claws, bites on his head, and just rips his head clean off his body.
So yeah, you the Guilty Earth sort of shudders as you appear in sudden recognition that you're there. Sin's buried deep, sort of turns its head towards you and begins to thrash. But you are on Hawkhurst. You rip in. Hawkhurst groggily kind of focuses on you as you come in, and like looks at you in a mixture of fear, hatred, and just recognition. Before you do anything, you're on him. You sink your teeth in. You rip away. And the head nearly comes off pretty much, and you stagger. You rip free. You rip so much that you are no longer connecting to anything to rip out. Stagger back with the spray of gore, and he's quenched the fire in him. He's just dead. He's in one go. He is just dead. Also, he's dead, not someone else.
Yes.
Stormbringer at the fact that I was successfully able to rip his head clean off. And I don't care if it means I invoke an attack or anything, is literally going to lean back and howl in, like, total victory. Like, if ever there was a thing for him to infuriate Guilty Earth and make Guilty Earth, like, whatever howl that is, that's the one he just dropped.
You bellow you howl in triumph.
Motherfucker.
You howl in triumph. Things are now happening, however.
Oh, God.
The cascading power coming out of the locust channeling through obviously channeling into the man. When he comes apart, there is a rupture of essence. The air literally, the spirit shadow air catches a flame with fire essence fire.
Can I absorb any of that?
No. As it discharges and lashes out everywhere. A large amount of it is still pouring into Guilty Earth, but is no longer going through the crucible of a werewolf, which is what makes it absorbable for him. However, the spirit is nonetheless partly absorbed enough power. It is growing. It has been growing more powerful from this fusion, and its flesh is becoming intermingled with threads of glass, and glass plates are growing on it. As this now becomes uncontrolled, that spasms and shifts and judders back as if running different sort of frames back and forth at the time. It is Guilty Earth gives an angry bellow in the non-language of the void, looming over you, and you think there is that moment in your triumph. You're in Garou triumph, but nonetheless you look at it and go, "It's probably now going to kill me. It looks bigger and tougher than ever." You feel a sensation you felt before. The warping air at the core of the locus splits.
Oh no!
And something massive looks through.
Oh no!
It's the eye.
An enormous appendage rips through something avian, suggesting mottled, scaled flesh and a talon, but it is not a whole talon, or not a whole claw. It is a single talon of a claw. Comes through into the Guilty Earth. It passes through the Guilty Earth. It does not connect with the Guilty Earth. It doesn't rip into it. Rather, it hits the essence of the spirit. And as it hits and peels through, it pulls away all the terrestrial nature bound up in the Magath. The glass rip around the claw. What is left is pure void. And whatever is on the other side, the eye devours the essence of the terrestrial essence.
It just lost the bane week of being ag got.
Tears in, and with it comes a portion of the shadow reality around the top of the tower. Essence is just, you are untouched as werewolves, but essence is literally being ripped out of the surroundings. Like parts of the glitters are just crumbling away as this thing rips in, and it is the god-awful sense of this thing eating the raw substrate of terrestrial shadow here. And then with a snap, this aperture slams shut again. You are now facing just a void spirit. The thing that was Guilty Earth is a roaring vortex of pure starlit darkness.
We completed the Sister Dot and can start a new one against immediately because he's a void spirit, right?
Yes. So firstly, I'm adding beats for the full completions. You now all gain. But you two, and the other again, it's the Cisco Dark condition against the Void Spirit, as ancient protocols fire up in your flesh and blood, as you feel something vaster than yourselves press into you and tell you to kill.
Chris, real quick, before the hole snaps shut, can Stormbringer look at the thing behind it and kind of give one of those "we meet again" greetings before it closes, snaps shut?
You can if you want.
I'd like
if you want to take that step.
Lose 10 sanity points.
He's starting to feel this weird connection to this thing.
Oh no!
Okay. Give me a resolve plus prime alert roll.
Oh,
like,
if you destroy your eyes again, I'm gonna hate you.
I can fight without them.
Oh, you can.
Resolve. Hey Chris, real quick, can I get willpower back for Destroyer for destroying quite literally walkers?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. Fantastic. That's 5.
Nice.
Spent the willpower on that one. Made it by the skin of my teeth. 5 8s, but it still counts.
Okay, I need to have a check on something here. Special,
no.
see if this will. No, it's not that.
You know what it is? I've been looking for the eye for so long. Like every time I do glasswork, I look for the eye. That I don't think Stormbringer like, if he recognized the claw as being the thing with the eye, I don't see him not saying something to it.
Yep. Okay, so it's good that you rolled that 5.
It's good that you rolled that.
Several
Is
things
this
have
another
just kicked
exploding
off.
eye situation?
No.
Oh god.
Okay.
You have been hit by an effect in current right now.
Okay.
You cannot regain willpower or essence from any act that involves kindness, charity, or mercy towards another.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's okay. That's not my thing.
Oh no.
Let's have a look. See if there's anything else keyed onto this. Okay, there's that. I'm sorry, I have a whaley baby.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Something has touched you, and it is cold, and it is cruel, and it is.
Evil.
You are a speck, as far as it is concerned, a minor thing, a trifle, but it is connected to you very briefly nonetheless, and sheared away your ability for kindness and mercy and charity. Right now, it's still there, attached by some flapping, ragged bit of your soul, but this
Right.
thing has nearly just gone, yes, I will have that morsel of your soul, thank you.
Oh
It
god.
nearly just tore the thing away completely.
Okay.
There may be other facts, but we'll get to that.
Oh no.
Uh,
Surprised I didn't force him into
Okay.
death rage.
Johnny and Harmonious Flame, you two have been, you made the tower, raced past some confused workmen who at the gate mostly see what's going on in the street, and then into the tower, through, part-built floors where they haven't finished taking all the coverings off stuff, and you racing up. As you go, you reach the top, as there is a sickening sense at the end, and twilight is warping and distorting weirdly. But you, at the top of the tower, in the top floor, which is completely covered over up here, there is a focus. There is a locus of glass. It is empty, unsurprisingly, but you have raced up to find the locus point on the side of flesh. Somewhere behind you down the tower, various workmen are like, "Hey, did you just see two dogs scumbering?" And there's a mustering response as you've just raced past, knocking tools over. You knocked a pot of paint right down a very carefully worked on bit of wall and have wrecked it horribly for the poor bugger who spent his whole day trying to fix that up. And you are up into the upper chamber of the top floor here, and the presence of the locust.
You said it's empty?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's a locust. You can cross over here.
So cross over.
So
Crossing
I would
grounds.
now like everybody to roll initiative.
okay, I am in Garu, which gives me +3 initiative.
I am
So
in
my initiative is now 8
Burhan, rather.
+8. I'm sorry.
Yes, we were both in there.
I'm
It's what? It's
currently
INIT space 8.
Yep. And my initiative is a +2 right now, so it's 7. Oh god, where did I go? I rolled a 13.
Right.
I rolled
Okay,
16.
so Johnny 13. 6 was that 16 for Flame?
Ag, what is your dex?
Yeah, she just got it to me one sec. She's being distracted by children, unfortunately.
sure.
Okay. Stormbringer and Thornbreaker.
Yes.
At Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, what are your initiatives?
I got a 9.
I got a 16 also.
Okay.
It should be in. It gives you a table at the bottom. I
Yeah,
think.
it says 16 Stormbringer, 16 Harmonious Flame, 13 Johnny, 9 Thornbreaker.
Pretty sure Stormbringer has bigger dex than me, so he will go first probably.
Well, is that keying in on...
Stormbringer has more
Are you
dex
going-
than you. I don't think he
are
does.
Keith, are you
I
going
only have 2
relentless
decks.
assault on him?
Yeah. So the first turn I will get the bonus 3, but we needed to know for secondary turns.
Okay. So, the air splits and warps as, stepping around a corner from nowhere, your 2 remaining packmates literally just appear in the middle of the scene.
Guys!
After the army has withdrawn from the locus. As you pass through, both you feel oddly...
I see them both with Hawker's head still in my mouth.
As you pass through, you feel oddly as if you have been watched in the crossing over. You emerge, and there is a tornado of void spinning here in darkness. So, Empty Void acts first.
Oh God.
It sees Stormbringer. Obviously, having torn it is angry, but it starts burning essence to buff itself this turn. It firstly buffs its finesse. It's buffing its finesse this turn. It starts to do the tornado of power begins to stretch, twist, blade-like extrusions and tendrils whipping around it. As it does so, it is venting huge amounts of essence. Because it is trying to burn the admixture of essence in it previously that it could absorb because it was a Magath. It no longer is, and its form is literally just ejecting essence that no longer meshes with its nature. So the air is boiling and shimmering with a sickening sense of guilt after images of moments you've done things you felt bad for, and glassy glints in the air, and literally fragments of glass appearing in the air and dropping to the floor. But it is using it then this turn to buff its finesse.
Can we eat this essence?
No,
Yes.
it's not in a form you can consume.
No. Can we eat him for essence since we have the instant sister
If
die?
you take him down, you can tear his essence apart to completely kill him. Yes,
But we can't consume him while we fight.
Correct.
yeah. The essence he's currently injecting is in a form you can't absorb, but he's burning for essence at an insane rate. So Stormbringer and Flame, you two are up first.
Okay. I go first because I get the +3 on the first round.
Yeah. I was gonna say if we could still try the bone. I doubt that's its bane anymore, and thought because we stripped away everything that.
Well, if you're going to try it, you should try it.
So if anything, like Flame could toss the fragment to.
A, I don't
No,
know.
he's going first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
B, I don't know. B, Stormbringer's in like borderline death rage after the glory of killing him.
All I know is I can
okay.
reflexively shift right now.
Okay.
So, what is the Void's defense, Chris?
It is currently 10.
Oh boy.
He needs to boost both his power and his finesse to get a defense boost.
Yeah, that is low defense.
Oh yeah, for him,
Okay.
it's low defense. His stats have dropped slightly from being demagathed.
Slightly.
Yeah, let's see how much that matters to Stormbringer.
Roll well, buddy.
Dice pool is slightly decayed. Slightly. It is decayed by a total of 7 because I'm going to burn a willpower. And that's the kind of roll I like to see. Okay, 6 on the initial. Let's see what the rerolls give me. Uh, 12 damage total.
Okay, so you lunge at Empty Void, grab hold of part of this coruscating, pulsating whirlwind of darkness and stars and rip and tear. It's strange, almost insubstantial, but you get something and you rip and tear and you rip away and you tear. You and Garrow, you're just going away at it. And you rip and you tear and you rip and you tear. It's not very phased, but it is taking damage. It's just really big.
Can I implement racks against spirits?
Yes,
Not
you'd
in-
have to either take a cold shot in the first place or you'd have to do
The
the
inertial.
Urshel rack.
Oh, Urshel is the one that get knocked guarded. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, depending on what form it's in, racks may have more or less effect. This thing has no legs, so you can't leg rack it, for example. It has quite a
No,
lot
I
of
was
arms. You
going to arm rack it, but I didn't realize that.
No.
I thought that was like any
Okay.
of the wolf forms you got that. I didn't realize
no,
it was
it's
Urshel.
Urshel. Just Urshel.
Okay. That was
Harmonious
my-
Flame.
So Harmonious Flame is in Urhan with the bone in her mouth, and
Okay.
who's next in the initiative actually?
Me.
Well, it's you. That's what I'm asking you. Oh, yeah, Johnny's after you.
Johnny.
I'm after you.
So she tosses the bone towards Johnny and goes, "We've got the bane."
Yeah.
And do anything?
And then she lunges. Sorry, turns to Urkel, and that's gonna be it because I can only do it. I can't do it reflexively.
I thought you said you were inertial already.
No, I was in
No.
her hand when we were going up the tower.
You can
Okay.
shift reflexively because our harmony counts as 5 when around the void spirit for shifting.
Oh, okay. In that case, turn to Urkel and then attack.
Urhan.
Okay. Its defense is 9.
But at least it will.
Most of that didn't come through, but she's saying she probably won't do anything, but at least it will give it a defense penalty.
Also, you can arm rack it.
If she hits it.
If she hits, arm wreck.
Yeah.
I'm out of essence, boys. This is weird.
Slow this fucking thing down. That's all I can say.
All that attack and willpower will give you actual dice pool, I believe. Okay. What is your base? So what is your? Okay, so
My
your
base
base
is
is
5.
5. So all attack gets 7, won't it? Not quite enough.
She'll get up to 10 if she willpowers it. Yeah.
I don't
She
have any
doesn't
willpower
have
left.
Oh, yeah.
willpower.
I don't know.
You might want to talk on the comms as well. So people hear what you're
No, my blend is Alpha, which is there must be order, and Bone is hedonist, which is manifesting as I do what I want.
No, neither of them probably tagged, did they?
No, not really.
So no willpower. You'll just have to make a chance to attack them.
Okay, chance die.
Better that than nothing.
Graspment. You can use steadfast to turn into a non-chance die, but that's about it.
That's true.
I think
Well-
I already used steadfast, didn't I?
Oh, I
Or
know
did
I
you
did.
didn't use steadfast?
Well,
I-
you made the roll. It wouldn't have been a hit anyway. So,
Yeah.
but you go into the lunge attack. You know, you've made an attack. It's reduced the defense by 1 for the next. Okay, so that was okay. Johnny, you've caught this chunk of bone, Mr. Shiver. This would give
Johnny
you a nice
is
special
running
penalty.
in Urhan, drops it, and like starts shifting to Garu, catches the bone in his hand, and leaps and like basically palms it down into this.
I will
Whatever.
give you your knife specialty for this because you're using it more or less how you would use a knife, which would jam this chunk of human bone. Well, claimed bone in
I love it.
What's its defense? 8.
8 now.
God.
Oh, I should have
You also
grappled him and
have
given it.
willpower.
I think I might have a point left, but that's about it. Yeah, I do. All right, tossing it out there. All right, strength in Garu, boys, is
Remember, all out attack will give you another +2,
5.
and if you're in
Yep.
Garu, you care less about your defense as well.
Yep. 5 in Garu. 8 for weaponry. Specialty in knives brings it up to 9. Plus 3 for the willpower makes it 12. Minus 8 is a 4.
Yep.
D10.
I'd just like to say, guys,
Oh.
I apologize. I fucked up.
Oh no, 6d10. Because I forgot to throw in the
Okay.
Oh my god.
I fucked up, guys. I should have grappled him.
Oh well.
That was my mistake. Well, then it wouldn't have gotten a defense against any of them, and it would have had to break the grapple before it could start
It would
doing
have its
stuff.
defense unless you use the move to pin it. But yeah.
1 success.
Oh, that's right.
Well, was
It
that
would
one
have had to break
success?
that
One
before it
success.
boosting itself.
Okay. So just to let you know, aggravated damage from this bane, it doesn't just do damage; it also does damage points of essence lost to it as well.
Nice.
So you jam
And it's
the
still a
bu- you,
bane.
basically- you stab you stab the this bone into this thrashing mess of void, and it screams, burns, and sort of implodes around the weapon around the bone where you jam it in. It's literally going sucking away into nothing, and essence is boiling out. So let me just tag this damage on.
Can I toss this now to Thornbreaker?
No, I think that'd be a bit too much for you to do in one turn. It is, however, now
Well, hold
Thornbreaker's
on.
turn.
If he drops off of it, Thornbreaker could jump on, grab it, pull the dagger out, and slam it back in.
I don't.
I'm
I think
gonna
that's
say-
too complex. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much stuff. He's already done a bunch of stuff with it, so I'm going to say dropping off that
Gotcha.
on the table.
What
But
I am-
Thornbreaker, you're up.
What I am going to do is I'm going to use Warhowl. So I have to roll my presence, expression, and glory. 8 with 9 again. I got 4 successes.
Okay.
So for the next 4 turns, my pack mates will all deal an additional 1 lethal damage with all their attacks.
Yep. Okay, so you howl across the sky.
Yeah. And then I'm going to attack.
Isn't it an action to howl?
Let me double check.
It's a merit, isn't it?
It's a
No,
gift.
it's a gift.
gift. Action is instant.
Yeah, so that's your action. You won't be able to attack this turn, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But it's now buffed. It's now buffed the whole pack for the next few turns. So you howl. Somewhere overhead, the Hellion roar in anger at that howl, but it is not moving down to engage. Okay, background. Sorry, we have a shouting child in the background.
Do we have
So
anything with 3 successes being an exceptional?
Yes.
Only if you have
inspired.
If you have an inspired effect, for example.
Oh, no,
yeah.
all right. Yeah, no.
So, Empty Void goes for Johnny, given Johnny just hit it with his bane.
Yep.
What is your defense, Johnny, or are you going to hit and run?
I'll hit and run.
I mean, you don't have to. You are in Garu, so you might just want to take it on the chin.
Yeah, but I have no defense.
You still might want to take it on the chin, but I can't guarantee. Yeah, I guess you're hitting and running. Okay, so it goes for Johnny, who basically books it the fuck out of there. Okay, so spend your point of essence. Do you?
No, wait, I gotta check. No, I gotta check. No, I burned out essence and against.
Okay.
No, I gotta take this on the chin.
So are you just getting hit then?
Yeah, I can't do anything unless I can use unless the essence cost for hit and run is.
No, right. It does cost essence, unfortunately. I am going to be rolling some dice for it.
It's gonna hurt. I am glad I'm in Garu.
Not as much as you might think.
Oh boy.
Only 6 damage.
Which I'm gonna heal off anyway.
Yeah, it smacks you quite hard with a tendril of void that scours when freezes flesh. But you take it, take it like a Garu. You'll live. So Stormbringer, you're dropping down 3 now, aren't you? Am I right?
So now Ag and I are tied.
No, Ag is.
No, she's ahead of you.
No,
She's
we're both
16.
16.
Yeah.
We're both
You
16.
were, but you're.
No.
I was
He
19
He wasn't
for the
figuring
first
his.
one.
Yeah.
I don't, because that gives us
Right,
a
I
table.
get-
I'm not calculating that in.
Right, I've been running stuff in
boost?
front of me. Yep. Okay, so Stormbringer and Harmless Flame.
But
Alright,
her dex, I think, is higher, no?
I
think they're the same.
Dex right now. What is her?
So whoever wants to go first goes first, I think.
I'm on 4 in Urshan.
Oh yeah, but he's also in Garu, so I won't. Basically, whichever of you wants to go first goes first. I don't care that much with the dex.
You
stance.
might as well
Ag
have
goes
flame.
first because it's not going to make a difference.
She's gonna be at a
I'll
chance
get
die
an
anyway.
extra. I'll get an extra die in my attack.
Yep, happy with that. Ag?
Yeah, okay.
So
I
Ag, why don't
actually
you go first?
I actually miscalculated. I have 7 base, so with all out attack, I do have 9 dice. But I guess it really doesn't matter unless I.
Well, if you attack first, it's 10 anyway, so 9 if you're second.
Okay, so Ag's
Okay.
attacking first.
Yep. Let's see what she does.
Or shall I turn the Garu and make it a non, just the 1 die, not a chance that?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'll do
Yep.
that then.
This way, you still have the chance of exploding.
Yeah.
Well, and you can,
sorry,
and you
that
can
was-
succeed with a higher percent chance.
Lots of dice there.
Got distracted by a baby. Still no success, but at least there's 1 less defense.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So Stormbringer.
Alright,
Defense
what's
is
his
now
defense
9.
now? Okay.
9.
Two, 3, 4, 6, 7. Sorry, you guys didn't lose me. I'm just doing maths.
No, that's fine.
Go for it.
Doing the math.
Roll well.
That's what I like to see again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, that's 4. That's 5. Okay, 5 is correct. Let's see what the reroll is. After the first time things explode, they don't explode again unless it's...
No, they keep going.
No, they keep on exploding.
I nerfed myself. I keep doing that.
You idiot.
Okay, so it's a total of 9. Well, no, because that may have actually saved... what's-her-face? That nerf.
Yeah.
10,
Right.
Oh, yes.
11, 12, Jesus Christ. 12. So that's 14 total.
Okay.
I need to like this one. I have to check this one die. It may be weighted because it keeps getting 8s.
One sec. I'm just having.
Oh, I only
We're
take
trying to
5.
lure children away
Yeah,
because
no.
they're making a lot of noise and I can't think straight with all these crazy bananas. Okay, it looks like the children will be wrangled away. I do need to wait till Egg comes back though.
Oh.
Hopefully she's going to come
Oh.
back. Okay, yeah, come back. Sit down so you know. So, Stormbringer lunges again, grabs, rips, bites, and tears, and whatever consists of the coherence at the heart of this thing comes apart.
Yes.
It discorporates. Now, because it comes apart in a sort of effervescing cloud of darkness and shining beams of starlight. Because you have taken it down with the Siskadar condition on it, you can drain it of the remainder of its essence. You have 2 choices. The first is take however much essence you want, but leave it with some, or take all of the essence, and that will kill it for good.
We're not, it's a void.
has
We're not leaving
4
this thing
points-
alive.
It has 4 points of essence left in it.
One for each of us.
If you're going to kill it, you can put 1 for each of you, and you can destroy Empty Void.
I'm all for this.
Is it possible to drag it
seems
back
like
to
she
the
has
altar
something to
and
say.
kill it there, or is it not in a position to be dragged?
You can't drag it anywhere, no. It's just been discorporated, so...
Okay, then kill it. Kill,
Yep.
kill, kill.
My
So I'm
bad.
just going to take the option. You all draw in essence from the discorporated,
Who has-
the power, from the primal
Who has
power
no
of the
essence?
kill.
Me.
Who has
think-
no essence right now?
I think.
Peter,
Ian-
you-
Ag is also raising her hand.
I am also on no essence.
Okay. The 1 essence isn't going to make a difference for me. You 2 decide.
I'll be honest, at this point, we are coming right up to the end of the
Doesn't
session, so I don't imagine exactly... It was more a case of do you
Yeah,
take the essence, kill it, or not,
yeah,
really.
Yeah.
So
We all
Okay.
just take a point. If we come back, we'll be
You-
at full.
you draw power from your primal kill, performing the function for which your souls burn with a knowledge that they were made for this. The darkness snuffs out. The occult geometries that are drawing power in through the ley lines just destabilizes. There is a bright flash of glassy light up here, and then almost like the shadow is breathing out. The empowerment of this locus ceases. There is a rippling in the air, but the locus remains present and stable. The power is no longer, however, being drawn in across connected weaves of energy. And in the following silence, what was left of the void here is gone completely. It is nature pours a vacuum. It is simply filled up. Hawkhurst's carcass is on the floor, shifted back to fully human form, very, very dead. The Hellion overhead takes one angry, resentful look down and decides that it will not make further of its fight today, and wings away. But it wings upwards. It may return with its fellows before too long. Tarrying here may not be your finest choice.
Yeah. let's
But
get
you
that.
have killed Hawkhurst, and you have killed the guilty Earth. Now, normally, we would be making a giant pile of harmony rolls at this point because of the absolute chaos and harmony breaks you've had throughout this session. I'm not going to do that right now for a reason, but it's getting on a bit, I know, and I want to sort of finish the game up now. Finish the session up now.
Just Chris, real quick for next time when we come back to the next chapter or story,
Yeah.
whatever it is, we are stripping Hawker's body of all the fetishes that he has.
So I will tell you now, he had two main fetishes, Restoratalents, one of which you've broken and freed. The other one of
Right.
which is no use to it. There is a guilt spirit, the former guilt spirit that was the boss of guilt in the town that also got imprisoned. That is so. As a tyrant, he has a power that allows him to copy conditions and tilts onto his cultists. The fetish allowed him to also copy the damage.
So if we
So
had broken
one
that,
of the ways-
it wouldn't hurt anybody else.
One of the way angles for taking him down was again to do that research, find out that and break that, so he could no longer do the damage copying onto other people.
Got it. Okay.
You probably don't want to use that fetish. You might want to keep it as a cage for the guilt spirit inside, but that'll be a decision for next story arc, I think.
Yep.
And
What will happen?
hide it in the library.
Yeah, the spirit, the unconquered raven lands up here on Nest, and spreads its wings, and the shadow that its wings cast is a grand fluttering banner that is far larger than the bird to mark your triumph. And this is a triumph. The pack have killed Hawkhurst. Well, it's a triumph in some measures. They've killed Hawkhurst. They have destroyed the guilty earth and purged the void spirit at its heart. They have caused chaos in the process. There will be ramifications and consequences, but those are ramifications and consequences for future you, and that bastard definitely deserves it. Where we're going to leave off then, we're going to leave off sort of this narrative. I know there will be things for the pack to do in the immediate aftermath, but we will leave the narrative as the pack descends the tower and seeks in triumph and victory, licking their wounds, healing up, and leaving this place knowing that they have defeated this foe.
I'm also stealing Hawkhurst's wallet.
Okay. There will
We can
be
run up his credit cards to buy supplies, yo.
No, that's awful.
He's
that's
dead. Who cares?
They'll come after us. They'll be like, "Oh, Hawkers is gone. I wonder who killed
Like-
him. The guy who's using his credit card."
So with that something that we can deal with next time. The pack of triumph. There is much for them to do. There are wounds to be licked. There is damage control to do. There is the wreckage of Hawkhurst's power to try and assume for yourselves. God knows what's going to happen with the spirit hierarchy now you've gone through it like a bulldozer. God knows all these spirits. There are spirits for whom you have fulfilled your pledges. There are spirits whom you have yet pledged to serve. For the viewers now, what's going to happen now with the game is, because of some scheduling issues, we're going to probably go on hiatus for a bit until such time as we can sort out scheduling conflicts and maybe come back for a third story of Very Angry Dogs. At which point, future you will be present, you, and that will be your problems to deal with.
Yes.
No, I'm being mess with kidding. My
But
thought
then we'll
is
just give bigger problems to future us.
there will be another time jump, a small time jump for the next story arc. But some of what happens next we will discuss and sort of cover in that time jump, but without going too deep there. So who knows what the next story arc will be about or when it will happen? Sorry, I'm being menaced by my daughter, who is being a right pain. We will come back, hopefully, it's for a future story arc of Very Angry Dogs, seeing how the pack managed to recover from the chaos and mayhem they've unleashed with their wild dog runs in the streets and the like, and see what new problems assail them. Hopefully, by the next story, the pack will finally have full possession of their territory and control over it without threats like Hawkhurst causing them trouble. But maybe they will have new problems from the without. Now, before we finish up for today, it's time to tag those aspirations.
Oh boy.
That XP. So, starting with Harmonious Flame.
Right, destroy Hawkhurst and his cult. Finally done.
Yep.
Strengthen the totem. Yes, because this win has strengthened it. Survive destroying Hawkhurst. Done.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I have issues with where this is going. Right. I cannot type numbers anymore. Donnie.
Okay. So my first one was survive my current predicament, which I found myself at the session. I survived it. Finished the hunt against Hawkhurst. Tagged. And then the final one was do something against Guilty Earth, which we did.
Okay. Thornbreaker.
Okay. My first aspiration is survive the encounter with Hawkhurst, which, against all odds, we did. My second one was work towards freeing Jenny from Hawkhurst, which I'm assuming we did. And then the final one, was to use my hunter's aspect, because I always forget it's there, which I did in fact do.
Yes, you did. You tagged him with it. Yep. And finally, Stormbringer.
Okay, I was a little more lofty with my aspirations. I didn't just want to survive Hawkhurst. I wanted to end Hawkhurst. And I did. With great prejudice.
Definitely.
The second one, however, I'm not sure that I really get credit for. I wanted to further the relationship with Emma. She doesn't know I caused her sister to explode into a bloody pile, but I did help save her sister's life and free her from Hawker.
I will say yes, on a general basis, you have helped further it. The advantage to be taken of
Whether
that in later
positively or
actions, I will give you the
negatively is the question.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
well,
So
we'll
we're
see.
playing. We're barristing here, and we're playing with what further really mean. And finally, like the rest of my friends, I wanted to remove the architect's claim on my land.
Well, he's
which
dead.
I think we
so
have
you did.
very thoroughly done. Just
Okay.
that.
You walked into the session with quite close to having a beat already from Overflow. You got a shit ton of beats this session. I mean, they were because you were getting lots of exceptionals that were double generating because for stuff called Sacred Hunt. You were tagging. You completed the Cisco Dark Conditions twice, all of you. So that was 8 beats there. There is a total of 56 beats, which means we are down to two experiences for everyone and 16 beats left over.
Wow.
So you are nearly at another bit. I'm not going to give you even more. I'm not going to give you a full whack of 3 for that, but you are close to getting another thing with more play. So I do
You get an
apologize.
extra for finishing a story.
Oh, fine. I'll give you 4 more beats. You might have 1 more XP.
Yes.
So a total of 3 XP for this session.
Wow.
Um,
Well done,
I'm,
Alex.
Well done. That's our Elodop.
I am sorry that this is slightly rough ending. It's time's getting on. I don't want to, especially I don't want to hold the Americans on their Sunday for much longer than they need to go. So it's the slightly abrupt end of literally as you walk away from the smouldering wreckage of your triumph kind of ending. And the details we will tackle as and when we come back for story arc 3 of Very Angry Dogs. I can't predict when that will be because it's going to be down to scheduling and timing and like. But hopefully we will be back for another story arc and see what these disaster wolves get up to next as they attempt to make their way through deepest darkest Dorset without all horribly dying.
So
I do hope you guys, the players, I hope you all enjoyed that. And the end of it was a very long story arc, I know, but I hope you enjoyed the story arc of Possession as you finally end up in hopefully actual possession of your territory. To viewers, I hope you've enjoyed watching Very Angry Dogs because I can't say if or when we will return to Very Angry Dogs. This isn't goodbye, I hope, merely a temporary parting. But I do hope people who've been watching have enjoyed this experience of Werewolf. I will say, as a slight thing, this has been slightly different to how I would usually run Werewolf games. Because I knew that we may have only had limited time to play this game, I packed in a lot more stuff, made some stakes higher, put in a lot more sort of high weirdness in areas like the eye, in a way that I might have taken longer and more story arcs to build into in a normal Werewolf game, because I wanted to get as much of the stuff in as soon as I could to get sort of display and have fun with it and let the players have fun with some of this craziness. But overall, I hope it has been a good experience for you guys as well. And that is it from me today, I believe.
Yep.
So I don't know if anyone else has anything else they wish to sign off for at the end of story 2, but thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, a big
Johnny in the background just doing the Judd Nelson at the end of Breakfast Club in the air.
A really big thank you and a shout out to you, Chris, for running this. You've really been such a pleasure of a storyteller. Thank you to my other players. It's been a joy to play with you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's been tuning in. And chatting and just being involved on this ride with us. Unrelated to the Werewolf game, just a paleo gaming sort of side thing. We are developing a space punk tabletop role-playing game called Omega Horizon. We are actually in the process of setting up a team of players to do a live playtest, if you will, of that game, which will be streamed here on the Paleo Gaming Twitch channel, and we'll make its way to YouTube as well. So keep your eye out for that. I'll be making announcements about that probably in early April. Yeah, and again, thank you so much, and we're all hoping very much that we can make Story 3 happen, and we will let you all know once we have an idea of if and when that'll happen and what the schedule will be like, so you can all join us for that crazy journey and the shenanigans we will inevitably get up to.
Yep.
Anybody have anything else?
No.
No.
Thanks for watching.
No.
Thanks for
All right.
watching.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very much.
watching.
I really hope
Hopefully
this
see you
isn't goodbye. We love
soon.
you all.
We love you all. Be awesome to each other. Have a good night.
Bye bye.
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 Be excellent.